Cool. All right, so we're live.
Oh God, we're live.
Yeah. We're going live.
This is the first time I've ever been live on YouTube, I think.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever been live on YouTube.
I'm just worried about getting judged on my dietary habits.
It's fine.
I guess I was that worried about it.
Yeah. But you know how it goes. Like right now, I'm not even sure anybody's going to be watching us right now, so and that's perfectly fine by me.
Yeah. My brother's working right now, otherwise he'd probably be on. But
yeah.
I don't know.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows that. Like,
if we have subscribers, would it tell them we're live?
Actually, it would. So we do have a couple subscribers.
So maybe a couple of regulars are watching us randomly talk about wrestling today.
Yeah. How's it going, everyone that probably isn't in the stream, but hey, we're talking to somebody.
Those Secondhand Sports. We are live.
Yes, this is Secondhand Sports' first live stream.
Second episode, first live stream. This is Paulo Camacho. I'm David DK Kim. We're going to go live and watch WWE Extreme Rules. I've literally avoided everything on the internet, on Bleacher Report, as much Facebook as I can avoid. It's streaming really fast not to read it.
And I did the exact opposite.
Oh man, it's usually the opposite. Usually Paulo stays good and true, and I read up on it immediately.
Yeah, it's okay though.
But
I probably forgot half of what actually happened. So,
and my brother watched our last episode, and he told me that, man, you predict like we're just like me and you are just talking in the room, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna change how I predict wrestling matches. As you can see, my healthy diet as I watch wrestling here.
Yeah, we don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Hey, when more McDonald's I eat, the famouser we get. Famouser, get it? Sorry. Maybe. I won't have to ever pay for McDonald's in the future. See, like I say, I learned something from VidCon.
Yeah, I mean, he has a point. You know, it's one of those things. You just
show her free until you're not.
I'm just gonna pull up Extreme Rules, and then we're just gonna start.
So Extreme Rules, we gave our predictions last week. I should probably pull up the card here on my phone so that we have just a card in front of us.
I wish I remembered what we chose.
You know, I kind of remember what I chose. And if I don't and I make stuff up, there'll be zero consequences.
That's true.
Because Todd and Bob probably didn't watch the full thing. In fact, I know Todd didn't. Todd has told me 3 times that he has put it on, watched the first half, and fallen asleep. That isn't because we're boring. It's because he's a little older and, tired.
Yeah, we're at that age.
At least I hope so. We were talking about wrestling stuff. WWE Extreme Rules. Anyway, while we do that, got Manny Machado the other day. Only gave up Yusniel Diaz. And I kind of agree with Harold Reynolds on TV the other day. I think the 2 home runs that Yusniel Diaz hit in the Futures game, right in front of everybody's front office and GM and coaches, they're like, ooh, that's the guy we want. Not Verdugo.
I can't believe it.
Not Ruiz.
Just keeps getting richer, man. Come on.
Not Ruiz.
Giants aren't doing anything. The rest of I mean, it's just...
It's only 4 back, right? 3 back?
It's soon going to be 10 back, considering what's going on right now. It wouldn't surprise me at all. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's see. We're going to skip the kickoff and just head...
I heard the kickoff was pretty good. I mean, I heard that my brother said that we should watch the kickoff because it was the tables match. Otherwise, unless you already saw it.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I heard there's a tables match between Sandy and New Day.
Oh. I hate how that's stuck in the pre-show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even really know what the card is. Let's see. Where's the card? Here it is. Oh, well, the first sentence was trick, man. They said Extreme Rules was the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. I'm like, you want SummerSlam? And then they worked on SummerSlam. Let's see.
So we should be fine on copyright, considering I'm not going to show.
Yeah.
We're just going
to talk about it.
I'm just going to talk about it. And don't mind me while I just snack on stuff, because, you know, I'm hungry. So I'll tell you what, we'll watch the Sanity New Day kickoff match, and then we'll skip the main stuff.
Why can't I find the card?
WWE Universe for Company Alliance with all here in the name of Extreme Battle for Supremacy with championships in the balance a sharp.
Wow, there's so much going on. There's no other match that could have. Well, I guess CN Almost versus Sin Cara. Is that on the main card? Is it because they're trying to push Almas?
I think so.
No one's watching yet, but I mean, what do you guys think of that? CN Almas, like the way the WWE does that. They pushed the NXT guy right out the gate, gave him a good 3 to 4 month push. You think they're gonna do something with it? They kind of drop the ball, and then like 8 months later, you're Baron Corbin and Finn Balor battling for nothing. I mean, sorry, I went really quickly there, but
honestly, I don't. Maybe it's just me, but it seems like even when they call up guys, creative tends to not have any clue what they're doing. Like, they bring up guys because they know they're going to get a pop. And then, what now? Let's put them in random matches and then just see if that works. And then when they finally get a program, it's just a whole lot of nothing.
Oh my God, we do have a viewer. What's up, Dan?
Oh,
how
hey.
You doing?
How's it going?
Live shout out to our very first viewer. I only said that because I made the Almas comment right there.
Uh-huh.
He texted me Almas in the car on the pre-show.
Oh, okay. Well, all right, that's good.
So we got two pre-show, and then we'll know how good or bad we're doing by the amount of texts we do or do not get from Dan. He goes silent, then we're really boring, and he's gone to take a nap or something.
Yeah, hey, that's fine.
Oh man. Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley.
I remember when I first heard that matchup, and I was like, I don't care. And now that we're going to watch it, still don't care. So,
whoa, the steel cage match.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they gotta have some Extreme Rules,
That's fair enough.
stipulation.
And I guess what better match to have Extreme Rules than someone that's going to brutally utilize the cage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, another Extreme Rules match. Big versus small.
Right. Yeah, because that's not going to factor into the match at all.
Why not just tell them what's going to happen? Wow. I haven't even seen it, and it's like Ronda Rousey has bought a front row ticket. Oh, she'll definitely not do anything and just sit there and watch the match.
I mean, gee, like that's not gonna matter.
I mean, I guess it's one of those. We know she's going to interfere. It's just when and how creative is creative or uncreative or whatever.
Right. Speaking of oh, we know he.
I'm
We know
never. Oh, right,
that interference isn't going to happen. The shark cage match. I mean, really? We're gonna do that stipulation again with Ellsworth
By the way,
suspended in a shark cage?
I'm never ever gonna call Baron Corbin the other thing. Just not gonna do it.
Constable?
No.
No.
I mean, we're not in old time England. There's no Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how fancy he dresses.
he should dress like Simon Gotch. Was it when they were the vaudevillains?
Yeah, something like that.
So I forget the guy's name with the crazy carrot top hair. The pre-show.
Sam Roberts.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's grown on me. He used to be kind of like the annoying guy where I'm just like, man, you're annoying. But like he's added some things to the pre-show. I think he's reined back a little bit of the annoyance and just kind of done more of the like naive outside of the business guy.
Yeah. You know, Sam has actually grown on me after having seen some of his podcasts.
Again, if you're ever in town during a pay-per-view, you can totally do one of these videos with us.
Yeah, please. More than
area.
As I was saying, though, there was one podcast in particular where Sam and oh man, what's his name? The guy with the guy with all the tattoos. Oh wow. Yeah, my brain isn't all the way here yet, so you gotta
remember.
All the superstars admitting that they are going to be glued to the monitors for one specific match. That is the match that's going down between Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley. All of the guys,
so wait,
they're anxiously.
Who are we talking about again?
Oh, Corey Graves.
Oh,
yeah, sorry. So Sam Roberts and Corey Graves are on the podcast, right? This was right after Greatest Royal Rumble.
Okay.
So Graves brings up the whole thing about Titus O'Neil tripping into the ring, like under the ring.
I saw that like GIF and I was like, was that accident?
Oh no, that was totally an accident.
Oh no, man, I know that now.
Yeah.
At the time I was like, did they just work? Like,
Yeah,
what?
exactly. And the funny thing was, like, they highlighted that to like WWE actually highlighted that, and when Corey was talking about it, he was talking about his reaction to it because he was right there on the stage. He was laughing his butt off, just like it was the craziest thing that like anybody's seen. Like I remember watching that in my room while like on my computer, and I was like, did that seriously just happen? I had to rewind it like 10 times. It's the funniest thing.
It made me go and watch it.
Yeah, exactly. And and that's probably why WWE highlighted it so much. But man, I gotta tell you, like that must have been embarrassing for Titus. But like, what was so funny about
he
it?
owned it afterwards, though.
I don't know what's happening.
It's such a scary situation. You'll have to get outside of that cage or pinfall or submission.
No, hey, stop it.
It seems like Kevin Owens made a mistake when he tried to befriend Braun Strowman.
Oh, so no.
That you don't want taking an interest in you.
But anyway, yeah. Sam and Corey's reaction to just watching it over and over is the best thing. And like, it actually started endearing me towards Sam. I was like, okay, all right, this dude's pretty fun.
And then his door closes, he's got to get away from Braun. You get out in that cage. Don't try to go for a pinfall or submission. Run as fast as you can.
Maybe you can get into work with possible Baron Corbin.
No, I'm not gonna ever call him that.
Pretty good at that.
Does David Thomas still announce on SmackDown?
I think so, yeah.
What's your reaction to
Whoa.
Well, first,
The fact that I don't know should tell you all you need to know about how much I watch
SmackDown.
Raw and SmackDown these days.
I'll ask again like I asked last week. Imagine if he doesn't hurt himself against Rollins and he gets the chance to have an actual Universal title reign.
I
don't think they go to the Brock option.
Oh no. See, and that's really what sucks is that we'll never know, but it really does tell you how much WWE was willing to give him a shot.
So, Dan, the sign on the back of his computer does not say "Believe in Bailey" like you think it does. I wrote this last week. He's a Kings fan. It says "Believe in Bagley," like Marcus Bagley. It's just ironic that it looks like Bailey.
Marvin Bagley.
Oh, I'm sorry, Marvin Bagley. I'm ashamed. I'm a Dukes fan. But it's just ironic that it looks like Bailey and we're watching Extreme Rules.
Yeah. You know what though? You could easily just say "Believe in Bailey."
Fair enough. It could
Bailey
easily,
hasn't been pushed for.
it could easily be "Believe in Bailey." But you know what? That's how wrestling parallels real life. Just like the WWE needs to believe in Bailey, the Sacramento Kings have to believe in Bagley.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I'm starting to believe. I just wish he didn't get injured.
Yeah. So does WWE.
Can we talk about Bailey for a second?
Sure.
Because I remember reading Adam Blampier's rebooking of Bailey's first year. I don't know if you heard me talk about it,
I heard a little bit about it.
or like if you've even seen it or anything. Like it's not up. It's like it's part of his book.
Oh no, I haven't seen it then. I heard you talk about it though.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like guys like Adam Blampier who I feel like who practically understand ring psychology and good storytelling more than actual WWE creative does.
Yeah.
You know, like so they understand how to tell a good story with Bailey coming into the WWE because he understands what made Bailey so lovable and marketable in NXT. And it wasn't because she was a child. Like, and I feel like that was like when WWE took over for NXT in terms of characterizing Bailey, that's how they characterized her. She was just a big baby because she dressed up in pastel colors and, you know, appealed to all the kids.
Yeah, well,
but that wasn't what made Bailey so popular.
Well, it's because what Vince saw was the popularity in NXT, and he just needed a female John Cena when that's not really what she is.
Well,
but
if
that's
you were
how you're
gonna
gonna market her that way.
But see, if you were gonna make her a female John Cena, you wouldn't have her lose so many times before actually winning at WrestleMania. You know?
Yeah, but they backed themselves into a corner with that one. Underdog, like, you know, it's another case of like,
they really fouled that up.
It's like, I thought it was gonna work.
But it's like, it's what infuriates me the most about WWE creative when they bring up NXT call-ups. You know, when they have these popular NXT characters, it's as if they don't bother at all to talk to NXT creative. If it's a different brand, and it feels like it is, they don't bother to talk to them and ask them, okay, what made them so popular in NXT? It's like one conversation could change everything about a call-up. You know what I mean?
I do.
Like if they could just communicate, or I don't know, maybe watch the product, then they wouldn't be screwing this up as much as they do.
You give them way too much credit. You know for a fact that even if they did cross their T's and dot their I's and did everything that they were supposed to, they definitely could screw it up the way they have been, because that's who they are.
I just feel like,
I mean, think about this. Someone exists in the wrestling industry that wanted to repackage Ric Flair while they were all still in NWA. Okay? And that was like, what, 80s, 90s or something like that?
yeah.
That was way before we're doing any of this. That exists in the history and the annals of wrestling. Someone wanted to repackage Ric Flair, get rid of his Nature Boy thing. Doing what, armors? It was like Spartacus.
No,
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking
That
about.
exists.
But that's also what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, why are you learning from your mistakes?
Because they'll always have 10 to 15 to 18-year-olds no matter what. We get old, want more quality substance. They go, there's plenty of 10-year-olds out there that want the superheroes. And they buy the merch. We buy expensive merch, but they buy quantities of not expensive merch.
Yeah.
And in the long run, that sells it.
It doesn't make it any less frustrating. It actually makes it more frustrating because we know what demographic that they're trying to get to. It's just
Dan apparently is on your bandwagon. You're basically voicing like everything he's ever talked about.
Right.
But yeah, he's always said, "Why don't I look at the past?" Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the reason why everyone hated Edge when he was a heel. It's the same reason that everyone hates Stephanie McMahon now. They can get you to do whatever they want. We're always going to watch. We're always going to be there because it's entertaining. And WrestleMania is WrestleMania. And, yep.
yeah, I guess it's I know.
It's just like everyone that cries and moans about how baseball this is down because boring, or like NFL because of protests, or NBA because the match will last 2 minutes, or yada. Everyone always hems and haws, and then when opening day of whatever season arises, we're all in our jerseys, we're all on the TV or at the stadium or with our hot dog or whatever, rooting on the team.
Yeah.
Even people on the internet that are like, "Oh, I haven't gone to a game in 3 years." I doubt that. Anyway, all we can hope for is the middle ground and everything is something that is watchable. You gotta ignore the fringes. Like, this is highly entertaining. It could be on a not stacked pay-per-view card, like on the pay-per-view. But oh man, 2 things about this. So they went to a commercial. It's like a screen screen. You can see the match, but there's like a promo being cut, so I guess it's not really a commercial. Thing 1. This is ingenious. Like, the WWE Network shows the match, still promos later in the match during the pre-show. Secondly, you can call him Bob all you want, Bobby Lashley, whatever. It just makes me want to hate you more, Roman Reigns. Like, it just seems so forced that he calls him Bob. You know what I mean? Like he wants to call him Bobby, and I feel like if he called him Bobby, the way Reigns, his appearances on wrestling, it would fit better. It would flow better. Bobby thinks, that just sounds way more condescending. When you say Bob, it feels like Vince McMahon is like up your and just controlling your mouth and that's what's happening.
But doesn't it feel like that like 80% of the time anyway? I mean, that's one of the reasons why people don't like Roman Reigns.
That's why they should let him call him Bobby, at least.
Yeah, honestly, like, I mean, from what I've seen of Bobby Lashley's return, it's hard. It's really hard for me to care. Like, I wanted to care. Like, oh, hey, it's Bobby Lashley. He's back. ECW and, you know, all of these indie stuff. And, like, he's got a rep in MMA and blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, he comes back and nothing.
I'm just kidding.
He comes back and just, I'm completely uninterested.
I know, and you know, it's like I said last week. Like, you could say that he was the last face of TNA.
Yeah.
What does Vince do with people like they're the face of?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, the last face of TNA is your current WWE champion.
And what did he endure for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months? Like, there was a time in the beginning of his WWE
he was
career.
in a program with Jericho.
I know. And so you're like, is this it? Is that the highlight of his debut?
Then he went up against Roman Reigns, you know, after Seth came back. Well, just before Seth came back. And, you know, had a pretty long program.
But it took him a while to put the belt on him.
Oh, it did. It took him way too long to put the belt on him.
I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't showcase them.
No.
I'm just saying, like,
yeah, look, could they have handled AJ Styles a lot better than they have been? Sure.
Yeah.
But they're certainly making up for it now. But that's only because AJ Styles is charismatic, has a huge move set, is very exciting to watch, is a marketable guy, even though he's in his mid-30s.
And Brock Lesnar is your other champion. Like, let's not pretend like the other. Hold on. Let's not pretend like the other champion is like, you know, like someone like The Rock or like Triple H or like someone where they're every week and he's like battling head to head. Like, they highlight him because they have to. In my opinion, they're doing a very good job of it, and good for his career. And AJ has proved that he deserves it, so they're not going to stop now,
Right.
But let's not pretend that Vince woke up one day and was like, "Oh, all sizes of wrestlers are superstar material, not just the big guys."
No, I that I can understand.
Like he literally was like put in like between a rock and a hard place type of thing, you know, where he's got Brock as a champion. He has limited dates that he can give Brock, otherwise that's a waste of the money. Like, and AJ resonated with everyone else in the universe. It's the one of those few times, like I can count on one hand from Vince where he's like, I just can't ignore the masses, you know, like.
Sure he can.
I know. And he does it 99% of the time.
Yeah.
This was one of the 1% where every now and again, where, you know, Daniel Bryan won the title, AJ Styles gets a long run, CM Punk's, you know, like, he gets a hair up his butt every now and again where he actually can hear the crowd. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. But God forbid that they lay off Roman Reigns for a little while.
It is what it is.
Oh, look! Cien Almas just won.
Wait, what?
I mean, Sakara looks like he gave him a match, so.
That's what happened, okay.
Of course it was Zelina Vega. Hot as hell, but.
Well, you know, this is classic WWE protection.
Of course.
And I feel like, I truly believe this, as every next group of NXT stars gets called up, they get better at bringing them up.
No, I know. And they've done a decent job with Cien Almas. Not the greatest, because for just for me, I don't really care about Cien Almas.
Have a good day, rest of your day at work, Dan. Thanks for watching on your break, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool. But you know what I mean? I don't really care that much about seeing Almas.
Why not?
The only really interesting thing about seeing Almas for me right now is Zelina Vega.
And that's why she's with him.
Yeah.
They're gonna eventually get to a point where they, have to split, do the
Obviously. And that would probably be seeing Almas' face turn. But right now, he's not interesting enough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the Shawn Michaels play. You put him with Sherry, you season him up a little bit, or even the other side of the Shawn Michaels play is what I like to call the S.A. Rios play, where S.A. Rios doesn't amount to anything, but Lita becomes a Hall of Famer.
That's
Can you
true.
hear me, Shen?
Because I was at the house show, or it was either a house show or a SmackDown way back in the day. We're in the dark match. S.A. Rios and Lita debuted. I don't know if it was not their official debut, but I mean they definitely had a dark match. One of the first few dark matches that they had in WWE, or I guess it was WWF at the time. But we just marveled because at that point I had never seen a female wrestler do all the moonsaults and all that S.A. Rios was doing. And she was just kind of copying it. And we all kind of looked at each other like, this should be good. This should be good.
Mm-hmm.
And then about 2 weeks later, they debuted on SmackDown, like on TV. And then I guess fast forward to now, and Lita's a Hall of Famer. I don't even know where S.A. Rios really. Maybe he did the independent. He was good.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with this. I mean, that was the thing, right? With Lita, I feel like they knew what they had, at least to start. And then when she showed that she could actually, do something in the ring, then they actually did something. And I feel like, yeah, I mean, it was a whole bunch of different factors that got Lita in the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
That is still unlocked.
What?
Did you see the interview gimmick with Shinsuke right now?
But tonight, I would take away his canvas. I would take away his pain.
This is really weird to me. Like, because I feel like what they're doing with Shinsuke is like, they're taking advantage of his smarminess, but it still feels like that anti-face sort of face deal. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I don't.
He can never hear me. I gotta get Dante out here with me.
I don't know. Like, there's something about Shinsuke where it's like, dude, I still don't see you really as a bad guy. It's like, maybe it's just his charisma that won't let me see him as a heel.
I mean, I guess. I mean, because face heel these days, it's not necessarily how they act. It's how the reaction is. You know what I mean? Like, so, bad example, but it is a good example. Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey. Like, Nia Jax is technically a face, but versus Rousey, like, she's kind of the
He
heel.
had to be the heel because they weren't going to turn Ronda Rousey.
Well, I know, man. Like, even if they were both face-face, the crowd would have delineated Nia the heel.
Which, by the way, that was the worst build-up to a championship match. Oh, hey, I'm going to challenge you at this random event because I feel like it. It was just...
Wasn't it some sort of WWE-based event, though?
It was. It was still a lousy way to set up the match. Because it's like...
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just
I know. Yeah, it's just... like, it was quite possibly the laziest way in the history of the WWE to set up a championship match of any kind. Hey, we're both at this event. and I have to challenge somebody, and I'm choosing you. That was literally it. There was no ulterior motive. There was no other reason other than I'm gonna challenge you because I have a mandatory challenge. So what is that? Who wrote that for Nia Jax?
I mean, it is right up there with that one WrestleMania where Bret Hart loses to Yokozuna, and Mr. Fuji like challenges Hulk Hogan for no other reason than it's Hulk Hogan.
That's true.
And it was like, wait, what?
It's like, where did that come from?
And then he won in like 10 seconds. And you're like, oh.
But see,
stupid title reign.
At least there, we're talking about a bunch of established superstars. Rousey literally just got there. You know? And then it's like, okay, well, she challenged Ronda. Now we need to establish who's the face and who's the heel. Well, we built up Nia as this sympathetic face. I guess we'll make her the heel now. That makes no sense.
I mean, I can't disagree with anything you just said.
It's just one of the reasons why I can't. It's really hard for me to get behind, WWE like week to week, because it's stuff like that where it's just like, what are you doing? Like, who are your writers, and why do they get away with this stuff? Doesn't make any sense.
Because it's modern day Shakespeare. It's not supposed to make sense. It's supposed to evoke emotion.
But if that emotion is towards the backstage more than it is the actual characters,
but then you hope every time you watch it got better. And then those live events. I mean, it's unlike any other entertainment that we have in, I'll say, the world. I don't know what other weird stuff going on in the world because I haven't been to everywhere in the world, but like they work 365. There's a bunch of house shows. They go overseas. There's no real off season for them. It's live action theater, as I said. Like. I hate how lazy they are. At the same time, like, if I really, really, really think about it from their side, I get it. Because there are runs of like years where like everyone is just locked in, with the story, and it's awesome. Mm-hmm. So it should be on the other side that they go on some lulls, Some would argue that we've been in a 10-year to 15-year lull, but
there were some high notes. I'll admit there's some high notes, but it's just like overall not the greatest. See, I'll say this. I'll admit that the Nia Jax Ronda Rousey match, for as lazy and as terrible as the setup was a good match. Even the end, where Alexa Bliss came in, protected Ronda Rousey essentially, and took the title. Like that was a great twist, and I loved that. It's just
I agree. Basically, like going from your side of it. They should have gone with this angle right here from the start. Like she should have cashed in, earlier maybe, or even just, they shouldn't even have the match, her and Nia. I'm saying like, and then after Nia drops the title, this program's, I don't know. We're here now.
Yeah.
Just like everything in wrestling, we're here now. So, what did 3 weeks ago matter? Hey, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, because we all have really short attention space. So,
I mean,
we don't.
3 weeks ago, LeBron was going to stay in Cleveland.
Don't even get me started.
And Manny Machado is going to go to the Phillies or the Brewers. LA. Oh.
Nice, but that shouldn't hurt you.
Should it not? I never thought about getting hit with a kendo stick.
All right, guys. The big factor here is that Ronda Rousey.
This would be one of those times where I would want to go and look at the comment section, but we're not big enough for anybody to actually be watching us right now. So, you know, actually, I brought up this interview that I saw with the Miz.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to see that.
Oh. Yeah, we could probably talk about it some other time, but like it was actually really fascinating because I wasn't sure if it was a work or a shoot because half the time it was like he's talking about his personal life
Can't
and like
tell with Miz.
yeah, and that's the thing. He's in character all the time. Like
Or never.
Even when he lets his guard down, it's like he's still up there, like, you know, complimenting himself for like the way he dresses and insulting other people and blah blah blah. But it comes from this human side of, well, this is Mike. This isn't really the Miz. And like, you know, and though that was the side where I really appreciated him actually opening up, because when he was talking about his daughter, because like he was talking about how he didn't really get how you know, having a child would change his life until he actually had a child. And then he had to leave for like 2 or 3 weeks going on tour, you know, leaving his newborn baby behind with Maurice, and how heartbroken he was just being away from her all that time. It's like, you know, Skyping and all that stuff wasn't really the same. It's like, yeah, okay, that's a way you can actually connect to him as a human being. Then he goes and talks about Daniel Bryan, and it almost makes you believe they have legitimate beef, because like he harks back to that whole, you know, that talking smack incident, and like, you know, and really talks about, it's like that wasn't on me. He was the one who called me soft. He was a soft worker. He was the one who called me a coward. Well, he was the coward. Blah blah blah. Going down that line, and it really makes you question. It's like, wow, this guy's either really good or this shit's real.
I just think he's really good.
Yeah, that's probably it. You're probably right.
Because, I mean, the Miz character is just a controlled version of Drunken Mike from the real world.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
If you've ever seen the real world, you will see a raw, uninhibited, very rudimentary version of the Miz in one of the episodes, when he is just drunk and yelling at the ocean or whatever he's yelling at, inanimate thing.
Exactly.
But not everyone can live the dream like he did. He did those real world challenges and made a bunch of money and went to wrestling school and learned the hard way. That's why he's so ready to. I think that's why he's so authentic in those promos that he cuts. Because part of that is just making up stuff, but most of it is probably years of backlash from kids in the industry, backlash from people in the backstage area, and backlash from all his haters during his rise up to the company when he was with Johnny Nitro or whatever for the tag team, when he was wearing those like kind of like steampunk type of like. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong word, but like he was just very, you know, with the hat and everything. And now he's an arrogant ass. But like, I'm sure that's just a 1,000 times personification of what he would want to tell people while he was coming up in business.
Yeah, I mean, he's really perfected his character to the point where he blurs the line between fact and fiction so well.
Now, only if he could work on a Street Fighter game, he would be losing all those belts.
Why would you even bother? Just it's sad, really. Oh,
look.
Here's
you know what? That wasn't even.
Speaking of Xavier Woods,
that wasn't even like on purpose. It just happened to work out that way.
Yeah.
So next match on the pre-show. I mean, if this is the other match of the pre-show, that's a pretty good pre-show so far.
Mm-hmm.
It's the New Day versus Sanity in a tables match, I believe.
Yeah, the funny thing is, we haven't really been talking about the matches themselves, but they've actually been kind of interesting. And the setups for the main stuff. Well, I'm other than Reigns versus Lashley, I'm actually kind of interested.
So you think this is where New Day is going to reside for a little bit of their career going forward?
Yeah, they don't really need the spotlight.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you think there's going to be the ones that take on groups like Sanity and all that to kind of bridge them from NXT to the main roster?
Absolutely.
Because what I was going to say when we were talking about that back at, 20 minutes ago, I was going to say the one group of individuals that they haven't really succeeded at all in, because the cruiserweights are getting better, the women, they've transitioned better, and the regular roster, but the tag teams, we need to do a better job of bringing the tag teams up. And I think Authors of Pain are going to change the way they bring up the other tag teams, but we need to get something hurry, because Sandy would be great to feud with Woken Matt Hardy and Bray. Maybe bring back Jeff Hardy as Brother Nero.
Yeah, I mean, for a future feud, that would be really interesting. I just don't know how much time, like how long that's going to take for him to set that up. And then you have to take into account the fact that Jeff's broken. Like, not broken from a character standpoint, but he's broken from a body standpoint. I heard rumors that Jeff Hardy, in his Intercontinental title match, his U.S. title match, he wasn't healthy.
Well, I mean, the beauty of the 3-on-3 is these guys can hunt and stalk Bray and Matt for however long they need that stalk them for Jeff to get healthy enough to wrestle a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not advocating him jumping off top of a Hell in a Cell onto a table or anything, but like, he just needs to be healthy enough to do a swanton off one of these things. You know, like,
true.
So the 6-man cables match, I feel like WWE always changes the rules every time they have one. Is this like a first? I guess they answered while I was talking.
Yeah.
First team to put someone through a table, basically.
Yeah.
Setting up a table, looking to end this early. This is something Xavier Woods talked about. He said, people, like Sanity made me think, we're pushovers. We're all about having a good time. We can match them in that intensity, in that chaos. All of this, Saxon and Sanity are having a great time right now. Whether they're getting punched in the face or punching faces, these guys exist to create chaos. Now, Big E caught in the middle of the ring in a 2-on-1 situation. Aaron Young and Alexander.
So how did the setup for this happen again?
I don't know.
You know? No.
I think just like Corey, whoever said announcing, I And then they were giving out pancakes or something, and they got attacked.
Oh.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
You almost lost sanity this matchup. Actually, kind of saved it. He could have gone through that table. Spinning neck breaker. Now Young from the top with the elbow drop. Right on target. The problem with a team like Sanity is they're so unorthodox, so unpredictable. They're almost impossible to plan for. You just kind of have to go with the flow and hope for the best. Yeah, there's the maniacal
Go with the flow, plan for the best.
Sanity, Eric Young leading the charge.
Sometimes you just have to go to that place where you spit cliches or nonsensical things because you're doing a bunch of stuff at once. I can almost relate having to talk while watch and think about reactions and stuff. They're really messing with Asuka. After the Royal Rumble, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, what do you think about Carmella's run? Like, it feels like typical S heel. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't deserve it, even though she deserves it. You know what I mean? Like, from a company standpoint, it's like she's doing her job well enough to keep the title. But in the process, they're making Asuka look really dumb. Like, they're really messing with it. Like, it's almost the same thing that they did to Bayley when she first came into the WWE. You know what I mean? It's like after WrestleMania. No, sorry. After the Royal Rumble, it's like the only thing that would have made sense would be for her to take the title off of Charlotte. It didn't, and then everything started going downhill for Asuka.
Yeah, you know, she had an undefeated streak and had a really good run. Like, I mean, you can't be like the focal point forever. And I honestly, like,
tosses Kofi back inside. This is incredible.
See, but I get what you're saying. But there's a difference between taking that spotlight of the undefeated streak away and just turning her into just another dumb women's wrestler. And like that's what I feel like they've done with Asuka so far after WrestleMania. It's like they put her in these programs and she's like she's blowing in the wind, and then all right, let's give her a title shot against Carmella, and then everybody assumes, well, this should be easy. But so then they have to give Asuka reasons why she's not winning the title. But in the meantime, they're making her character just look so weak. It's like there has to be a better reason why Asuka isn't winning this title. And it can't be because she keeps getting tricked. Because everybody knows that, like, this is the way that Carmella keeps her title. Through deception and, you know, like trickery and all this other stuff. But I feel like there's a difference between her being really smart Carmella being really smart to keep her title versus Asuka just falling for anything to allow Carmella to keep her title.
I mean, she's in a title match program, and Carmella's already established the fact that, like, when she's with Elworth, that's how she wins. Like, it's not like it just all of a sudden happened, and, like, Asuka is just kind of somehow, like, you know, falling for this new tactic that they've been using. Like, Carmella and Ellsworth is a thing. And it's not like this is real life. So, like, in real life, if Asuka was being fooled like that, I agree. Like, she looks, dumb and stupid. But it's wrestling. Like, in wrestling, cameramen don't exist because we just get a sneak peek into secret conversations. You know what I mean? Like, you get fooled.
But I feel like
everyone get... Okay.
There's a better way to tell this story without making Asuka look like a fool.
Okay, understand. I understand. I agree. But in wrestling terms, if that was the case, The Undertaker couldn't be as popular as he is. Because everyone's a fool at that point. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's wrestling. You fall for the same trick 10 times. And then when you're done falling it for it 10 times, you fall for it 5 more times because it can't put a different angle. You know what I mean? Like, thumb to the eye. Rake to the face. Pulling of the tights. It's all narratively the same thing as Asuka falling for the manager trick.
There's a difference between all those things you just said in terms of cheating to win and making someone look dumb. Because
I don't think so.
No. I'll say why. Because when you're doing all those things to cheat to win, you're doing. If you're that person that's cheating to win, you're doing something to that person over there. But when Asuka falls for Ellsworth's Asuka thing or whatever the hell else that she's fallen for in these title matches, it is no longer on you tricking her. It's her being dumb enough to fall for it.
What's the difference between that and Hulk Hogan losing because there was 2 Earl Hebners? We didn't know they were twins. What's the difference between that and him losing to Yokozuna because there was a cameraman with a fake beard next to ringside with flames coming out. You're telling me after all these years in WWF and as champion, and he didn't realize there was some guy in disguise next to the ring? You know what I'm saying? Like, I agree. Well, I agree with what you're saying. They're doing Asuka wrong. She is losing unceremoniously when there's ways to do it other ways. But Carmella is a conniving, sneaky a character anyway. Conniving, sneaky Staten Island princess that gets whatever she can and gets away with it, right? And Ellsworth is I'm just saying, like these are all ridiculous things, right? Like they are all ridiculous things. But you know what I mean? Like the referee doesn't see the interference. It's just they're insulting. Wrestling in itself is an insult to all of our intelligence. It really is, right? Dead man walking, Braun Strowman throwing people off the top of things. They don't die. Kane controls fire.
It's not that I'm not hearing it.
I know that it's not that either. I totally get.
It's just
I totally get what you're saying.
It's like, stop leaning on the same tropes, man. That's all I'm saying.
But they
come up with an original way for Asuka to be it's one of those things where this is the undefeated Asuka, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is somebody who shouldn't be easily fooled. So come up with a way to fool her by not doing the same stupid tropes.
Let me ask you something. Why is her being undefeated and a good wrestler have anything to do with how easily she could be fooled?
Because it's the same thing with everyone.
Agreed.
No, this is what I'm saying. Give some of these characters a semblance of originality to where it's not the same old thing.
And you know what happens after that? Honestly, you put yourself in a position where you can't get out as creative or as people writing the script, right? Then you give them no outs if you have to be realistic or respect someone's intelligence because of one thing or another. You do it one time, right? Like you respect someone's intelligence of recognizing something like that one time in any wrestling whatever feud or program.
Mm-hmm.
You can never not have them recognize that ever again.
So then come up with something new.
That's fine, but what I'm saying is like they're all cool, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, half dumb because they have to be, right? Like, I mean, do I really have to steal urns to beat somebody in wrestling? No, because he doesn't get his power from that. Like that's the thing, right? Undertaker gets his power from the urn. Rise, Undertaker! Boom! We all cheer. Yes, yes! Hear the gong! Yes! I mean, we don't think that's stupid because we all love it. That's one of the. But you see what I'm saying? Like,
because it's a plot device.
But so is that. That's the most traditional plot device that they have.
No,
That's the most traditional plot device that they have. From I am not really your dad to like this is not your baby to like oh your brother is still alive to I am the mastermind behind the military defense. I kidnapped my own daughter and sacrificed her almost and hung the big.
that wasn't that was a really dumb plot.
Right?
We know that was really stupid.
I know, but that's my point. That's my point. That's my point.
And my point is,
They have to do better.
they do.
They have to be more creative.
They cannot rely on the same old tropes and expect their audience to just go with it.
60 plus years says you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you're right. But 60 plus years and a name change and crushing all your rivals beneath your feet, say otherwise. I'm just saying. The greatest build-up to a pay-per-view match ever, pretty much that people agree on historically, is Macho Man versus Hulk Hogan when the Mega Powers got together and they exploded.
And that was long-term storytelling.
Yeah. And what was the crux behind that whole feud? What was the crux? Macho Man's unwarranted jealousy of Hulk Hogan to Miss Elizabeth. Even though we as fans have always known Hulk Hogan as eat your vitamins, say your prayers, whatever, red, white, why I'm a real American, and Macho Man was the heel, and they turned face, and Hulk Hogan was there to save him because Miss Elizabeth went to go get him, and Saturday Night Main Event. I watched Saturday Night Main Event where they explode, right? That was great. It was awesome. But it was stupid AF because why would Hulk Hogan be back there for that long? Because he is the heavyweight champion and he wants to. Right? They got married in a ring. For a month and a half, him and Roddy Piper were commentary, and Macho Man couldn't say I do in any answer to any of Roddy Piper's questions because he was actually scared of saying I do. And he went, I'll get you later, brother. Or whatever he does. I'm just saying. Ridiculous. Hornswoggle? Hornswoggle was the son of Fit Philly. Whose intelligence is being insulted there. I'm just saying. There's a lot of things for us to hate.
It's not an excuse.
It's not.
It's not an excuse.
It's not an
That is
excuse.
all I'm saying.
And I agree. And I agree. But
But there's always that but. God! Okay. All right. Let's see if I can. God, 3 hours and 40 minutes. Let's see if we can just skip like to the actual matches instead of go through all of this other stuff. So we're not here until 7 o'clock. Yeah, we'll see. Well, I don't know. Maybe. Well, here we go. We'll start with this.
I hope the B team wins and they become new age outlaws. I mean, this day, modern day age, whatever.
You're not down with
No,
this anymore.
I'm okay with them winning. I mean, they're retaining. I'm just thinking that the B team has earned their right to have the title for at least like 2 months until they drop it to Authors of Pain. I'm guessing this is Raw, right?
Yeah.
That's really why I think they win. Is I don't think that they want. I mean, while I feel like Matt Hardy and Bray could absorb a brutal loss to Authors of Pain, even a good wrestle match, but it's going to be not that long because Authors of Pain haven't really been stretched very long. But I don't think they wanted that to be the memory of that team. So if they lose to the B team here, the crowd kind of gets what they want. B team wins.
Yeah.
And then in about a month or two at SummerSlam, the Authors of Pain can beat them in, I don't know, the pre-show or something.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if the B team does win, I mean, here's the thing. I know exactly what happens because I spoiled all this for myself on Sunday. But I'm not going to let Dave know about who wins or loses. I'm just going to talk in hypotheticals the entire time because I already know who wins. But in any case, if the B team wins, I would be interested to see what their storyline is moving forward, especially if, I don't know, Miz comes back to Raw, right? And then, okay, if they say win tonight and then have a loss, I know that's ridiculous. It's endearing though, isn't it? It's endearing as hell because it's so dumb.
It's something that me and my brother would do to go to an event to support the B team.
Dude,
it's too white. Oh my god!
If we went to a WWE live event and we knew the B team was going to be there, I would totally do this. They're wearing white t-shirts with bees on them, drawn onto them. It's amazing.
There's something on the back of their shirt still.
It's probably team. I don't know. But as I was saying though, like it would be interesting to see like what the dynamic there would be, because if the B team is the current tag team champion, and then the Miz comes back, and it's like he wants to reunite with with Axel, come on guys. Like what dynamic would actually work there? Could they get into a feud? Could Miz bring in somebody else that to fight the B team in
What if we brought back Johnny Nitro?
Wouldn't that be interesting? But that would be assuming Miz isn't doing anything at the time. Because what I would like to see is Miz in the main event. Going back after the Intercontinental Championship, or even going after the WWE or Universal Championship, because honestly, I feel like Miz is there now. He doesn't need it, but it would be nice to see him there.
So here we go now, the B team against Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy, and momentum really perhaps the side of the B team, Corey, considering singles victories over the past several weeks. You have to agree with Michael. Both members of the B team at separate points picking up victories.
Speaking of the B team, how do you think about Kawhi to the Raptors?
I hope he plays.
I think he will.
It wouldn't surprise me though if he went with his original threat and said, "No, I'm not playing for you all year."
Well, I mean, doesn't the CBA say if you're healthy and you don't play, then you don't earn that year of service? So you wouldn't be a free agent after that. I mean, I guess if he doesn't have the team doctors like, examine him, there's no way to figure out if he's healthy or not.
Yeah, it's like I feel like Kawhi is at that place in his career where it's just like he's had enough. He's had enough of everything, and like he's just, you know what? I'm going to do this my way. And because of that, he could play for the Raptors. He could easily not, but he's going to somehow figure out a way to get to Los Angeles and play for him.
Fair enough. And for all you Spurs fans out there who were upset that I laughed last week about the irony of everything, I actually thought of one more ironic thing that fucks Spurs. The whole Kawhi thing. I think it's funny that Spurs fans are questioning the validity of Kawhi's injury when he's sitting out. When their current dynasty just ended, began only because David Robinson was too hurt to play the last 55 games of the year before Tim Duncan came out. And since he was too injured to play those last 55 to 60 games, the Spurs got the number 1 lottery pick and got Tim Duncan. If David Robinson hadn't been too injured to play those last 55 to 60 games, then they probably would have never won their titles under Tim Duncan and Greg Popovich. Thank goodness that David Robinson happened to be too hurt to play those last 55 to 60 games, whatever year that was. Right, Spurs fans?
Here's the thing, though. I feel like there's a difference between
lying about injury as a team and lying about as a player.
I feel like there's a difference between David Robinson knowing full well that his team wasn't good enough. Like, it wasn't, dude.
Right?
It was bad without David Robinson.
Is that really a difference?
I think it is.
And so if Kawhi's team was bad, you'd be okay with him just sitting out because he was injured? We don't know whether he's injured or not.
Well, I'd be more okay with it if he actually showed some friggin' loyalty to the team. I think that's the difference.
And just said I will sit out and just take that lottery pick. Hopefully it's Tim Duncan. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
it would have been DeAndre Ayton, but you know.
But what I'm saying is, if you're a Spurs fan, whether it's sitting your players on national televised games because we have to rest our players, you can't argue with that, to David Robinson sitting out a whole entire season to ensure, he was injured, to ensure Tim Duncan comes to San Antonio. Michelle Beadle and all Spurs fans, you have no ground to say anything about Kawhi Leonard.
See, the reason that they do is because Kawhi Leonard wasn't happy. Like, I feel like there's a difference between David Robinson sitting out for the good of his team and Kawhi just being a brat.
You know what the difference is? Public perspective. There's absolutely nothing different about those two things.
You're probably right, because I'm not really that much of a Spurs fan to begin with.
And I know. I'm a professed Laker fan, so obviously everyone out there knows I hate Spurs and the Celtics and, puppies and, little children, obviously. I'm just saying, we shouldn't all be just like, oh, Kawhi, the selfish dude.
I guess like all things, especially in wrestling, it's all about perspective.
Right?
How easily it comes full circle.
Right? I mean, he could have been a good citizen and expressed loyalty to the team and told them that he didn't want to leave. And in fact, that he was proud to be on that team and he was the franchise and looked forward to going forward and helping the team achieve the next level.
And I guarantee you, it would have been a lot better for him if he did.
Really? DeMar DeRozan did all those things. He's a Spur now.
Well, that has to do with that has to do with Toronto.
I'm just saying.
That doesn't have anything to do.
I threw it out there that day because I was like, come on, bite. I'm just saying.
Okay, Lakers fans, calm down. Call off your dogs.
This was a surprisingly good match, which is why I feel like the B team deserves.
See, and that's the thing too, because we're talking about, I think it's hilarious that Bray and it's like it's Bray versus his brother.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, these two are good wrestlers. That's the thing. We look at them as a B team, but they're good wrestlers. They've been around this business for over a decade now.
Yeah. I still
see Axel, former Intercontinental Champion,
and I still
thanks Cole.
I still hold on to the fact that if they win here, B team, Rusev loses. But if they lose here, I feel like Rusev has a very, 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 very good chance of winning. If not just until SmackDown.
Oh my God! It's brother versus brother. Bo Dallas versus Bray Wyatt.
Oh, he is
the Rotunda brothers. Is it the Rotunda brothers?
Yes. Mike Rotundo's IRS, right?
Yeah. I feel like that fact that it's the Rotunda brothers going up against each other is not appreciated by this audience enough. Because I certainly appreciate it. Because they couldn't be more opposite of like the characters that they are. You know what I mean? Like it's the Eater of Worlds versus Bo Dallas. The aw shucks kind of.
Oh,
I knew that would happen, but yeah.
All right, sorry, Rusev. Everyone in this audience right now is exactly looking the way they should.
Yeah.
Because WWE got the payoff they wanted from the crowd. Shock, a little bit of excitement.
And they're, kind of happy.
And they're like, oh, cool.
It's like, cool, yeah, all right.
All right, well, I want to know.
Backup dancers in the shadows. Like I said, I hope they have a long run with that.
So now that they won, I want to see them come out. I'm going to watch Raw, by the way, tomorrow or next day. But what I want to see when they come out is a little bit of arrogance veiled underneath that attitude.
How do you think we feel? How does a rainbow feel? How does Stretch Armstrong feel?
How did Stretch Armstrong feel when he landed?
Give him the props, man.
What's up with that little kid dance where they're like doing the thing? I don't even know.
I don't either. I've seen it, but I don't understand it. All right, let's fast forward a little bit.
The terms for his next title opportunity. Let's get here tonight, boys,
Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. Like I said, I think Finn Balor wins in like a roll-up type of situation after kind of Baron Corbin has control. And then Corbin beats the living daylights out of him afterwards. Continues to do all the summer stuff, of course.
Because, you know, I mean, it's
You know,
like
there's nothing for them to do.
You don't even have to know the WWE that well to know that that's most likely going to happen.
You know why? Because it is a tried and true plot device that works time and time again.
But that doesn't mean you have to like it. That doesn't mean you shouldn't strive for something more original.
By the way, I'm pretty sure everyone out there can tell as well. I've found my constant theme throughout all of these episodes. I'm just gonna bring back the tried and true as much as I can.
Let's just lean on the tropes, huh?
I wish he was wearing a bowler, had like a walking cane,
like a
monocle, and
he's gonna call himself Constable Corbin. You gotta go all out, man.
Otherwise, oh, there you go. I like that.
True Universal Champ.
Yeah,
I like that too. That's so good. So one of these days, they're gonna have to address it.
Yeah, he never lost.
I hope it's by next year, in next year's WrestleMania,
I think what's gonna happen,
or maybe even Survivor Series. Look, I feel like right now Finn Balor is the highest he's been since he's been back.
Knowing WWE the way I do, what's going to probably happen is they're going to try to re-sign Brock. It's not going to happen. He's going to leave the last second. There's going to be a vacant title. There's going to be a tournament. And then that's how Finn Balor's going to get his title back. Is title never lost. It's win another tournament. Yeah. Because Vince is a fan of, I know that the fans say they like you and you never lost, but you need to go through another tournament to prove that the fans actually do like you and aren't tired of you.
Yeah, it kind of makes me angry that they just refuse to push Finn Balor anymore. Like, he's stuck here on the mid-card because that's where he is. He's on the mid-card. Lost the Intercontinental title match, stuck with this feud with constant Baron Corbin.
You're losing a little bit of yourself every time you say that too, huh?
Yeah. It's just like, for an athlete of Finn Balor's caliber, he doesn't deserve this.
Yeah, you know what the problem really is? There isn't a second brand, really, a second company to
really
check Vince McMahon and his, ignoring certain wrestlers or.
Yeah,
I feel like the equivalent to another federation now is the lure and promise of those upper middle tier independent circuits like PWG,
Lucha Underground, NJPW.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if you can be a Cody Rhodes and go in and make your name after WWE and Ring of Honor and New Japan and PWB, that's the option, and you gotta figure it out at a young age. And in wrestling, that's 30, 28, 30, between 28 and 33. Or the other way to do it is kind of like Kenny Omega or the Young Bucks, in that you got a little taste when you were young, but you never went back. You just kind of carved out your legacy elsewhere, overseas. That's the other way to do it, is to go and be a legend in Japan. And if you're a legend in Japan, then you don't really need WWF or any of those American, federations, because you're a freaking legend in Japan. And the last 5 to 10 years, there's more wrestling in Europe. So, you can, because of the internet and YouTube and all that, you don't gotta be here. It's just nice to have insurance all the time and, be under a guaranteed, semi-guaranteed contract. It's also nice probably wrestling in front of thousands and hundreds.
Yeah. I just wish it didn't have to be a trade-off.
Yeah, it's like a zero-sum game. You know, like.
I mean, until a WCW-like promotion exists to keep WWE in check.
It will never happen, I believe, ever again, because at this point, WWE is so big that the only way that would happen is if, say, Ring of Honor, New Japan, PWG, IWG, all those guys just combined into under one umbrella while still operating, in their independent name. And then you could, have like insurance, things like that, and try to pay them as Vince would pay them. But, how are you going to really combat with the worldwide presence, the NXT and Full Sail, 2 shows a week on national TV? Like at this point, our only hope was WCW didn't fold. You know what I mean? Like, plus, I don't think people like New Japan and Ring of Honor and PWG want to get any bigger than they are. Like, they're okay being kind of the training ground, triple to quadruple A level of wrestling and having the WWE come and get their stars, because I feel like it brings them, at this point, if they come to PWG and pick up your top star, it gives PWG a little bit more shine as well. Yeah. So other independent wrestlers are like, well, if I go there, it'll be a faster track to WWE if it happens. And so they're like, it's like the rub, like John Cena just beat me, oh, I'm gonna get a rub, like, it's sad. This match is longer than I expected. Although
this is about right for me.
I was gonna say, although I feel the conclusion coming soon.
I'll admit, this new character for Baron Corbin kind of works for me.
I didn't say that.
But I think that's only because at least it's not his old character. Because his old character didn't do anything for me.
I don't know. I like his old character. I mean, I don't like what it became, but I liked the idea that he wasn't a face, he wasn't a heel, he was just freaking Baron Corbin. But they didn't evolve that to anything.
Yeah.
That it just ended up evolving into him slowly going heel because they couldn't figure out how to Stone Cold him without people being like, well, you're just Stone Cold,
Yeah.
Which is the other thing about about the wrestling community and industry that it's like, okay, you don't want carbon copies of people. You don't. You don't want more than one Stone Cold. You don't want more than one The Rock. And you don't want more than one The Hulk Hogan, whatever, or the Ultimate Warrior. But if something works, and your other character is kind of dispositioned to that kind of style anyway, what is the harm in kind of gleaning the positive money-making qualities of that said what they're mimicking and just evolving it into a bigger, more athletic version of that? You know what I mean? Like, he could have been a gun for hire. He could have been more like Undertaker meets Stone Cold, basically. But instead he was just a really bad metal, headbanger.
Yeah.
Oh, it's setting up for a little roll up. Setting up for the roll up. Look at it, setting up for a roll up. You're being dominated. Please don't do that.
Yeah, please don't do a roll up.
I want to be right, but are you that predictable?
That's not a roller.
Gotta keep Baron Corbin off his feet. Corbin, like a man possessed, instinctively getting right back up to his feet, but Balor.
Oh!
He tries twice.
See, it's that kind of stuff where I'm like, Balor, damn it, don't do that again. I know we're like, what, 2 years removed from the shoulder injury? It still worries me.
I mean, he got power bombed into the railing. You can't predict that.
So there's the small package. Oh god.
He did get a roll up. Now I just need Barry Corbin to beat the crap out of Finn Balor. Or does he wait till SmackDown or whatever?
Wasn't that a heel move by Finn?
When you're desperate, man. When you're desperate, right? But see, that's the other thing that's inconsistent about WWE is every now and again, if it's like a non-title, main event style match, the face is allowed to kind of use heelish tactics every now and again. Just like how I think that they've turned John Cena heel, we just haven't noticed.
Yeah.
Because we just don't care anymore. It's not that we don't care anymore. It's just that we just never thought it was going to happen, and we wanted it to happen a certain way. And now we're just mad about Roman Reigns and the other thing and that and the other. I think slowly but surely they turn heel. He does a lot of heelish things now.
Skipping ahead.
So speaking about traditional and non-traditional tropes of kinds, athletes and social media. You heard about Hader, right? Josh Hader, the Brewers relief pitcher or starting pitcher.
No.
While he was in the All-Star game, in the game itself, Twitter found tweets of his from 7 years ago when he was 17 that are, I can't repeat them because even though no one's watching, someone will eventually watch, and I don't want to get in trouble. Like, heinous, like, misogynistic, racist, homophobic, like, just, not just one tweet, but, like, a series, like a conversation, whatever tweets. And he owned up to it and everything. But I think...
Like, he was 17, though, you know.
I think, Lorenzo Kane said it best. Like, well, he doesn't have social media. He doesn't have to worry about accidentally tweeting something when he was younger. And
Accidentally. No, he...
Well, sorry. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But, hadn't been found out, like, 8 years later. That's why you have social media, right? But B... I somewhat agree with Warriors, like 17, 16.
It's like when you're 7, you're going to say dumb things on social media because you're 17.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, like,
you gotta know. You
gotta know.
Which is why I say, the moment that you become semi-famous, like let's say like in a month, we find out that we have like 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, which is
that's not gonna happen.
No, but we'll say that's like nothing. But let's just say like we just woke up and like, whoa, 1,000 people.
It's like, oh wow, 100,000 people. How did that happen?
1,000 to 100,000, just boom. If that were to happen, I would immediately after I found that out, lock my Facebook, delete my Twitter, undownload my Snapchat app.
Well, no,
but you know what I mean. Like,
I get what you mean.
I
understand though. That's not gonna stop.
I probably wouldn't do all that, but I would immediately start scouring years and years to be like, what do I need to get prepared for?
That's why, I've been kind of keen on social media this whole time. I never say anything dumb on the internet because I know it'll come back.
I was gonna say the worst thing about me would be just sports and food, probably at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
But MLB didn't suspend him, but they did make him go to mandatory City training since it was 7+ years or whatever.
Right.
And he did own it on the interview. He did say, like, oh, you know, when I was young, I was stupid. It's not an excuse, but, you know, like, it's not who I am today, kind of thing.
Okay.
So, before this match, it's Carmella versus Alexa, or Asuka. Before we start, you do know that Elvis is escaping the cage and affecting this match somehow, right? We all know that, right?
Because
we all know that, right?
We all know that
because not because it's Asuka getting fooled, but because anytime you have anyone in a shark cage,
they're going to affect the match.
Yeah,
no, yeah, obviously.
I'm just saying.
It is one of the dumbest stipulations in all of WWE.
And I
Putting
agree.
someone in a shark cage, making people believe that, oh, that person's not going to have any effect on the match. Give me a break.
You know what?
It is one of the laziest ways
It's kind of like
to put somebody else in the match without putting them in the match.
It's kind of like putting someone in the front row. Like Ronda Rousey.
That's like Ronda Rousey.
Or John Cena. Or the Hart family that one time. Or the Hart family that other time. I think the Hart family, I believe, has been in front row the most.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Enzo and Cass versus somebody, right?
Something like that.
No,
Enzo in the Shark.
So Enzo in the Shark Tank, and then it was Cass versus the Big Show.
Something like that.
Because that was after Cass turned on Enzo, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's another horrible handling of an NXT tag team, by the way. If anyone could have been the new DX, they could have been the new DX. They just need to stay together and not break them apart.
Well, and not even that. Honestly, I think that as much as Carmella has been flourishing in the women's division, like, I don't want to take anything away from what Carmella's already done, even though I think she's a crap champion. But that comes to be expected as the character like Carmella, as heel Carmella has been. But my whole thing is they shouldn't have separated Enzo and Cass and Carmella as soon as they did, because they basically both came up to the main roster. Oh, yeah, like. And they were separate, and like, because they didn't want to address the fact that, like, you know, Carmella was going out with Cass, and then when they broke up, it's like, okay, well, we'll keep them separate or whatever. And then it was just, I don't know. I feel like those three could have done a lot together on the main roster, and then like give it a little while before you separate those three. Whether Carmella to one brand and Enzo and Cass to another. After Enzo and Cass has already won a tag team title. Because I feel like that was their first mistake. Not giving Enzo and Cass a tag team title. Right. And then...
I agree. What they should have done was they should have won the title.
Sorry, I got distracted by the chain that...
dropped from the
cage.
By the way,
hey! Oh, there's interference!
By the way, why wouldn't you check Ellsworth for weapons before you put him into the Shark Tank? See, look at the great conversation the Shark Tank brings.
So dumb.
Anyway,
I hate everything about this match.
And you know Asuka's gonna lose in probably the it hasn't even been his most hated.
Rewind about like 30 minutes and understand. We all get the fact that Asuka's probably losing. Like, we get it, right? We get it.
At this point, I just want her to see how she loses, just so I can see the aneurysm in Paulo's head go off right here in the temple. I'm gonna say.
Are you kidding me? Spray? What is that?
I don't know, but I feel like what's gonna happen is,
Wait, do you
how
really,
is the ref?
like? Do you not know how this match is gonna end? Like,
I
you
don't.
can't think of Think back to past shark cage matches.
Well, I know. Obviously, he's gonna slide. He's gonna body slide out and stuff or whatever.
Ellsworth petrified. Well, two of her plans have backfired so far.
I want to see how like the actual match goes. You know what I mean? It's like, is Carmella's skill level at all like comparable to anyone on the roster, let alone Asuka, but just anyone on the roster? Like, can we say like, okay, she's shown me at least a little bit to make me think that she isn't just somebody who's there. Like, this is what I mean. If it wasn't Carmella and you could literally put any woman you could think of, not even on the WWE, but just a random woman, and then just slot her in Carmella's spot, would it be the same thing? You know what I mean?
No, of course not.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I mean, as bad of a run as she has like her personality and charisma is what she's giving. You know what I mean? Like, she's not gonna out physical Asuka, but like.
But that's not what I'm asking though.
No. But what the thing is, like, someone. Oh, did he unlock the cage? Oh, is he stuck?
And he's caught. No, Asuka, don't.
And like,
Stop focusing on.
And here's the thing. Totally believable. Totally believable.
I'm sorry. Are you going to win the title like this?
Any guy wrestler would do the exact same thing. And my only question is, why does the referee care?
Why is he still hanging from?
Stop! Don't raise it up!
And then she gets rolled up right here. Maybe.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Where is Carmella?
Did she just get disqualified?
Well, at least there's this. Yeah, I mean, you're right, Corey. That's why this is so dumb. Oh, there's Carmella. There it is.
I mean,
did we expect anything less? Did we expect anything more?
they lowered the cage just enough, and she pushed her into the cage. Should it have been a better match? Yes, because they're both better wrestlers. But is that possible on a stacked card like this, where you still have Nakamura, and you still have AJ Styles, and you still have Roman Reigns, and Nia Jackson, Alexa? No.
All right, I'm going to fast forward again. All right, here we go. U.S. title match: Jeff Hardy versus Nakamura.
This is the one thing I actually saw on Facebook, so I know Nakamura wins.
Oh. Well,
Was it good?
No, I don't know. I guess we'll find out because I didn't actually watch this match.
Oh, man. By the way, All-Star break was it last weekend, right? Last weekend?
This past weekend.
Okay.
It was just a few days ago.
Yeah, so I know that year in, year out, the All-Star break is at different points of the season. It's not always at 81. It's not actually at the midpoint of the season. And this year, I believe that it was like 101, 102 games before the All-Star break. It doesn't count if you have the most wins for the All-Star break if you played 20 more games in every other season up to this year.
Look, who are we talking about?
Red Sox. You can't win 66, 67 games for the All-Star break. Declare yourself breaking a record when you play 20 more games before the All-Star break than we normally do.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Like,
why would you do that?
Like,
why would you declare yourself to have some sort of record?
They didn't declare themselves. It was just like, oh, they broke the record for most wins at the All-Star break. And I was like, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
And then I looked. And it was like 100+ games. Like, that's still impressive. They have 66 and like 34 or something like that. That's very impressive. But that's not the same thing as the Yankees winning 60 games, whatever it was, after 81 or 85 games. Like that. We're just so quick these days to like declare records of old records, but like under new guises. You gonna get off that chest while we listen to this intro here? Whoa.
Hey, I recognize that stuff.
Those eyes are closed.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, he looks like when he was coked out beyond his wildest imagination while he was at TNA.
It's about the 43
He wishes he was just coke.
Works out by the Hall of Famer Harley Race.
At least we know that, Kurt Angle isn't going to come in and whisper in Nakamura's ear, finish him quickly.
Yeah.
Then again, actually, now I remember how this goes down. So, I'm thinking this is quick.
He's injured, right?
Yeah, we mentioned that before. I know that he's injured. So, I think this was really the only way they could do this. And Jeff's going to be like, oh no, I'm a fighting champion. I got to go. It's just, it's all goes downhill from there.
A tried and true.
Boom! That's a Boomayang, not a Kinshasa.
A tried and true squash crew.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those things where you know that the Reigns Ashley match is going to go longer than it should.
I wish he earned his first title belt a little better than this, but considering the situation and the fact that he's an uber heel and all that other stuff, it's like, of course this is how he wins. You know how I said, like, literally 2 minutes ago, it's like, Kurt Angle coming in, it's like, finish him quickly. That's kind of how it played out.
Yeah.
But for completely different reasons.
Yeah.
All right, let's just, oh, yeah. I forgot about this part.
Well.
Exactly, right? No one cares. No one really cares that Randy Orton's back.
I mean, he's got really cool music.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think it's that cool.
No, I mean, like it's very, like when it hits, you're like,
oh, yeah. He gets that pop, but...
If I've watched my wrestling correctly, he's going to RKO probably Jeff Hardy and not Shinsuke, or not attack Shinsuke at all. Why do you do that? Meant to quote-unquote explain himself on SmackDown.
Probably. Get up, Jeff. It would only be fitting, right, if he actually did that.
Well, I mean, they didn't bring out Randy Orton to not RKO someone.
Yeah. See, this is hilarious to me because like this just has shades of like early 2000s, you know, late 90s.
Oh. He looked like he really stomped on him.
Yeah. Yeah, I still don't understand what this is. Like, I guess it's a heel turn.
I thought he was already a heel.
Yeah. See, like, that's the thing, right? It's like nobody knows. All right, I'm fast forwarding to this garbage. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Nobody understands what's happening. I know, Paylevia. I saw that too. All right, here we go. Cage match. Kevin Owens versus Braun Strowman. I love how he still had. I can't wait till he cashes in that Money in the Bank briefcase.
What if he really does cash in both titles? Like, who's gonna take away the suitcase? What about they make sure that you realize both feet touching the floor?
Monster in the Bank. I guess that's what they're rolling with.
Come to some sort of agreement on your next title defense to be stripped of the championship. Steel Cage had so much play in the Lesnar Reigns match to the greatest Royal Rumble reign, believing he'd be uncrowned champion. And now Strowman, as Mr. Money in the Bank, point that means he can cash in on the Universal Champion whenever he wants. It's a terrifying thought if you're the Universal Champion. I don't think Brock Lesnar fears anyone on earth, but he's got to be thinking twice, looking over his shoulder about Braun Strowman. I can't help. I feel like we're at Jurassic Park and we're about to watch the T-Rex get fed. Like that poor little goat. I'm quite sure that Kevin Owens still is not pleased with the fact that Kurt Angle's put in the sack. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. The fact is, he's got to walk in, gentlemen, to that Steel Cage against that man standing in the middle of it. What is the game plan going to be to try to survive?
Okay, we've hit a lull.
Well, I'll be right back after she gets.
Hit the head.
Yeah.
All right. Well, looks like I gotta talk here because.
Right back.
All right. So let's talk about KO versus Braun Strowman. See, I already know what happens here. So, having known what's going to happen, it goes back to the tropes that we've been talking about this entire stream so far. How can Braun Strowman be so dumb as to just allow KO to win the match? I get that he doesn't have to win these matches, I get that this really isn't his end game. His end game is winning a championship. But I have to finish that thought after we finish the match because Dave's back. Hey, Dave.
What's the thought?
Oh, it's a thought about the result of this match. And since you don't know,
Oh,
I'm not going to spoil
I see.
anything. Yeah.
And is shoved away now. The power of Strowman. And Owen sidesteps Braun and catches him with a shot on the back of the neck. And another one.
WWE fans are so fickle. I remember when they were all against Braun Strowman. And then Strowman showed he has some personality.
I mean, you know, people actually got behind Braun.
I know, after he showed he had some personality.
Yeah.
They don't have a choice, I guess. Well, that's the thing. He may not have a choice, but maybe he's surprising himself. That was a master. Oh, it's calling to the door. Calling to the door. The officials open the door. It's Strowman. Just like that, so quick. Pushed the ring and intercepting Kevin Owens before he could make it out the door. You see what Braun Strowman is capable of inside a steel cage. Just ask the Big Show.
I mean, here's the thing about the steel cage match now. Like back in the day when I used to watch wrestling a lot when I was younger, you didn't really, I mean, this was probably more so that I didn't really know the nuances of wrestling, but you didn't really know whether they were going to come over the top or escape out of the door.
Mm-hmm.
It was, 50-50. Maybe you get a pin in the ring, who knows. But now, with like Elimination Chamber and like Hell in a Cell, whenever I see a cage match like this,
Mm-hmm.
I just think, oh, so like one of the two of them are going to try to climb over the top and the other one's going to push them or something because that's the only reason you have a steel cage, because the Hell in a Cell would be more brutal.
Yeah.
And in this case, I can't see Braun Strowman climbing on top of the cage and jumping anywhere, so I'm going to assume no matter what happens. I'm going to assume that if Kevin Owens wins, it's going to be because Braun Strowman throws him out of the ring and his 2 feet touch before Braun gets out. But I feel like that's the only way in a steel cage match.
Because they're not gonna, they're.
Kevin Owens.
I mean, they could do, KO figures out a way to, weasel his way out of the cage or whatever. But wouldn't it make sense, right? As much as I hate to say it.
Ugh. Well, I mean, if you've seen this before and I haven't, I feel like the game we should play is, can I predict the outcome of these matches?
See, the thing is, I can't tell you until after it's over. Because I could easily tell you if you're right.
And Strowman once again with Kevin Owens up on his shoulder.
Because the fact is, I didn't actually watch the matches, but I certainly saw all of the analysis afterwards. It would be nice if he did it like this. It's like, okay, dude, you actually showed some metal.
Trying to drag Owens back into the ring. And Kevin bringing some separation. Trying to crawl out now with the boxers back up. Not so fast. And the slam down the face of Owens. Kevin has tried everything. And now pawing the dirt like a big old bull. Those side steps, he's Strowman hit hard. Hit the turnbuckle hard, another super kick for the jaw. And Kevin Owens doing what he can to try to somehow get back into this match. And he's dropped Strowman to a knee. And KO is using the one thing that he's got the upper hand on, and that is quickness. He's getting out of the way and exactly what
Where did that come from?
Yeah.
How smart is this? This is brilliant. How smart was that by Kevin Owens? And it is legal. There are no disqualifications inside a cage. Braun Strowman has been handicapped. Come to the top rope. So there's nothing he can do. And KO, he's smart.
Where do you get those handcuffs?
The punish Strowman, coach. This is all about retribution. KO's remember getting tossed off the top of the ladder. You gotta take his time. Getting jumped inside a porta-john. All coming back to him. Remember his red card. That's what you got. Turn over. What are you gonna do now, huh? What are you gonna do? Uh-oh. Oh, got a little too close.
Ooh, God, why? Back to the same old tropes. Why would you get that close to him?
I'm not even sure Braun Strowman can break free of these handcuffs, guys.
I like how when you're in the match, you easily just like undo these and like unscrew things. But when you're right next to it, you need to have it like unscrewed. Then you forget that it screws on.
And Strowman really struggled.
I mean, really? Did we really think that that flimsy-looking chain was gonna...
Oh wow, that's very athletic. I did not expect him to be that athletic up there.
Hey, man. Bro, don't you dare throw him off the other... Don't you do it! No, just throw... No, just throw him the other...
Oh, he wins. He wins. I was right.
Yeah, see?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. See, I was going to tell you. I just couldn't. It's like, Braun, the other way! Just throw him the other way! I mean, I think I get what they're trying to get here. Because it's like, yeah, he won the match, but man, that was painful the way he did it. Like, he still got punished.
Yeah, it's part of the story.
So what did I say?
I'm guessing they're just chanting holy S.
The officials are calling for help here. The EMTs now bringing stretchers out.
Here's your winner. Being stretchered out of the stadium.
Man.
That's your winner.
Incredibly hard, as you can imagine, coming from all the way on the top of the steel cage.
Thanks.
The impact.
At least it wasn't Hell in a Cell.
And Strowman now stalking his way over here. There's got to be somebody get in his way. Look at that.
Man, all credit to KO for taking that bump. My God.
Yeah.
That could have caused some serious injury.
Kevin Owens.
You think he's going to grab the ambulance thing and then just hit it against the steel cage?
Maybe.
Strowman out of here. That's what I'm saying. Somebody get in his way. Kevin Owens. Strowman laughing about the fact that he just threw a man off the top of the cage to a table. He doesn't even care if he hurt the man.
Is
The steel cage is dangerous, yes.
that's a heel thing to say. That's a heel thing to do. And yet we cheer for Braun Strowman as a face.
Because he's doing the Stone Cold thing right. I don't care if you cheer for me. I'm just gonna beat people up.
What was Braun Strowman willing to do inside of a steel cage? Well, we saw what he was willing to do on top of the steel cage.
Who would have guessed that the biggest guy, the biggest guy was gonna be like your Stone Cold?
Flying off the top of a steel cage, some 20 feet to our announce table below. And listen to this hideous crash to the table by Owens. Braun Strowman.
They don't know how to strike it down.
He wasn't kidding. Kevin Owens may be seriously hurt. I hope Kurt Angle's happy with his decision. I hope Kurt's smiling in the back right now. I can't wait to hear the reaction that Kurt Angle has because, yes.
Sure, Steve Kerr got an extension.
Because of course he did. I mean, think about it. Like, look, this isn't that's not about like, oh well, he has all the talent. No, it's about doing what Phil Jackson did back in the 90s. It's placating all of those egos and getting them to work together to play at their most elite level. That's not easy for anyone to do.
Not everyone can do it.
No. I mean, you could say, well, Spoelstra did it. No, he didn't. He barely kept that team together for as long as he did.
Pat Riley did it for him.
But that was Pat Riley.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, Spoelstra didn't do it.
I don't care, Nikki. I don't care.
Brothers who would attack Team Hell No in the backstage area. Again, look at this. It's Harper Rowan, Daniel Bryan, and Kane battling out here in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, the match hasn't even begun. We knew this match was going to be incredibly physical, incredibly brutal. But obviously, Harper and Rowan looking for a leg up, unintended, snapping Kane's leg possibly inside the door.
Okay, so that happened.
What are these two capable? And it was the knee. Kane. Choke slam. Hell no.
Oh, Daniel Bryan.
God. Did anybody ask for this? Because when I first found out, it's like, oh, Team Hell No is coming back. I didn't care.
Well, Bludgeon Brothers needed someone legitimate to beat and or give the title. So I don't know.
Let me tell you what they are not. They are not Team Hell No.
That's a sitting mayor, right?
No, he is. He won the primaries. I think he's still.
No, he's still
Running.
battling it out for.
I mean, I still think they win in a breakup, not breakup kind of way. Although it seems to be that my theory is right and wrong. After they got tapped, it might be Daniel Bryan, pinning whoever still by quote unquote by himself. I can't wait till he faces The Miz eventually, whatever that may be.
They can't do it too soon. And I think any time before WrestleMania next year is too soon.
Then what do you do with Daniel Bryan this year?
You figure it out.
I seriously hope not.
You can stretch this out for maybe a month or two, a month more. See what happens. See what the, kind of feel out what the audience reception is. If it's not working, all right, let's move on to something else. And then, I don't know. I don't know what you could do, but you could sow the seeds of next year's WrestleMania by finally getting Miz to address Daniel Bryan and go through all this stuff up to SummerSlam. Not have those two face off against each other in the ring, but do a bunch of different things to really establish a long-term storyline between those two before leading up to next year. I don't know how you could do it. I can't think of anything right now. But you can figure out something. Hell, you don't even have to establish it now. You can establish it months down the line. After SummerSlam, going into Survivor Series. And then just have put him in another singles feud, or maybe an intergender feud. I don't know. How about bring back John Cena for a program to keep him company for a couple months, for 2 or 3 months. That could go somewhere up until Survivor Series, and then Miz comes in. I don't know. You figure something out, but you don't have to do Miz versus Daniel Bryan yet. Everybody's salivating for it. You don't have to give it to him. You want to save that for one of the big four, and I feel like the best payoff will be next year's WrestleMania. I understand that's 9 months away, but hey, man, we can wait 9 months.
Fair enough.
So it's not like that. The want for that match is gonna fizzle. I mean, the only way they could do it, take a note from Bayley versus Banks. That's a terrible way to set up whatever match they have moving forward. Because I'm already sick of Bayley, of the whole Bayley versus Banks, will they or won't they? It's they gotta, go into counseling, and are they still friends? Are they not friends? Are they frenemies? And blah blah blah. I don't care about it. You know what I mean? It's just put them in a match if that's what you're doing. What just happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that's all they need to do with Bryan versus Banks. Look at what you did with Bayley versus Banks, and then do the opposite of that.
All Vince heard was do the exact same thing.
Bryan was favoring those ribs heading into this matchup. That splash will do Daniel Bryan no favors. Time made, in comes Harper. It's this endless barrage that the Bludgeon Brothers can throw at Daniel Bryan here in this match simply because it is 1 versus 2. But we've seen this against tag teams that are 100%, Tom. So, yeah, of course, this is the worst case scenario for Daniel Bryan. Harper is out there having a field day, teeing up. Not only they have champion's advantage, but Daniel Bryan has to beat them. It's a 2-on-1 handicap beatdown right now. Tag, rolling back in legal.
I mean, Kane's coming eventually. That's like Wrestling 101.
Should have been thinking about those things earlier today before he accepted this match, before he came out here without the big red machine. And now his family life are finally flashed before his very eyes. No way Daniel Bryan could have foreseen what was going to happen for you. What are you talking about? Cover here on Bryan and a kick. Stevie Wonder saw this coming. Listen, this happened earlier.
Stevie Wonder saw this coming.
Daniel Bryan's in a mindset where he's not going to pass on any opportunity for a championship. Cover here by Harper and a kick out. For some competitors, like Daniel Bryan, sometimes there is honor. If you go down swinging.
Yeah, watch the hair. Because everybody thinks about that when they're fighting in a wrestling match.
Shocker midsection. Daniel Bryan is in the world of hurt as Harper and Rowan continue to make frequent tags. Bryan Weston on the top rope. Oh, and Rowan goes over the top. And now Harper in pursuit. Daniel Bryan with an opportunity here. Bryan's best chance. He got Harper isolated.
I was really interested in this. It's actually kind of funny when you think about it, because it's there you go. It's Daniel Bryan versus basically the Wyatt family.
That is funny.
I mean, of course they wouldn't bring that up, but it's like, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to, because it's kind of funny. He's in a walking boot. Husky Harris walks with Elias because he can't drive. Oh, man.
Daniel Bryan is trying to reach his tag team partner. Harper repels. That's a tag. It should be about a 70% big red machine at best. 70% big red machine is taking down Harper. Oh, he still delivers those big right hands.
I don't make the Bludgeon Brothers look weak.
I mean, they've already looked weak by not beating Daniel Bryan right now.
That's fair. That's fair.
That this match has gone 10 minutes with a injured Daniel Bryan against two healthy Bludgeon Brothers, and the game not over, or the match isn't over yet.
There it is. And that's why you don't come out with an injured leg. Yeah, get your revenge on the Wyatt family. It's a shame that Daniel Bryan hasn't shown up on Up, Up, Down, Down. I actually really like Harper because he's entertaining as hell on Up, Up, Down, Down. Oh.
Spin kick from Rowan. Rowan swinging his Sequoia tree. Caught Brian right in the face. Ben gets athleticism from Rowan. Now Harper's there to tag.
Here we go. And that should do it. Because you're not seeing Kane again. It's like, okay, we know where this is going. I mean, you don't mind that I'm like, okay.
Not at all.
Single-handedly toppled the bludgeon, and even when you added a 50%, 60% pain into the equation, it's not enough for the most dominant force in the tag team division.
Nope, don't care. Nope, still don't care. Here we go. All right, now we got Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley. This should be interesting. Is that the storyline you're going with? One day, one of these guys will get a title up. Wait, isn't this whoever wins?
No, that's just speculation of what it was. I heard though it was better than expected.
Oh well, all right.
I mean, I didn't expect much, so I don't know what that means.
Extreme Rules. And on that night, Bobby Lashley was in a street fight where he defeated Vince McMahon for the ECW Championship.
Oh my God.
So the last time Bobby Lashley was Extreme Rules, apparently, he won the ECW title at Extreme Rules One Night Stand.
Against Vince
He
McMahon.
beat Vince McMahon. You could say history is repeating himself because now he's at Extreme Rules and he's trying to beat
Vince
Vince
McMahon's
McMahon.
golden boy.
his boy.
Certainly makes valid points, but it's not like Lashley walked away to take up something completely different. We're talking game success in mixed martial arts. Bobby Lashley is a high-level athlete, wanted to test himself somewhere else. Now he's back, better than before.
What was it, like 14-2 or 15-2 or something?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know what level of MMA he was at, but
Probably below strike force. I think what would be interesting with moving forward with Bobby Lashley, no matter what happens with this program with Roman Reigns.
get rid of the headband. Sorry, what? Well,
No, that'd be one thing. But another thing would be once Brock Lesnar leaves,
which might be never.
but let's just say like he's off the air for a little while. Who do you think Paul Heyman would represent next? Maybe a guy who's got Brock Lesnar's old build. Maybe a guy who can't really talk very well. Maybe a guy who's waiting for his heel turn because honestly, his face run really isn't working. Maybe a guy who has kind of the same background as Brock Lesnar with MMA and all that other stuff. Just saying.
Yeah. I think he should form the Dangerous Alliance again. And go back to the name Paulie Dangerously.
Did you really just say that, Coach? His inner dog.
I mean, that is a common phrase in sports.
I don't know.
Again, who's the man here on Monday Night Raw? Whose yard is it? These two men battling for that distinction. It's a beautiful fact.
Did you really just ask that, Cole? Whose yard is it?
What better way than knocking off the guy? There's no question Bobby needs to start stacking up not just wins, guys, but big time wins as he moves forward inside of the second chapter of his WWE Extreme Rules. Again by Roman Reigns, who looks to set another example here tonight.
Oh man, just watching this match just reminds me that I can't wait for baseball to start again on Friday.
God, we gotta wait until Friday?
It's tomorrow.
I know, but still.
I mean, I guess there's a game today. It's the Cubs and Cardinals, but the full slate doesn't start tomorrow.
Get to see Manny Machado. Still just a tad bitter about that. Did you get that? Too?
What? Oh, no, he just texted me.
Oh, okay. Thanks, new subscriber. Just making sure that this is the same channel. Yeah, it is. Okay. Cool.
I think Dan wants us to give this an open-minded chance until the end here.
All right. I'll give it a chance. I mean, so far it's a bit of the same. Kind of reminds me of the Samoa Joe match. Joe versus Joe. A lot of, rest holds and not very many spots.
I don't know. I'd be more scared if they were going on top ropes and stuff.
I'll take top ropes. At least you're trying.
Yeah, but
At least you're trying to
when it's out of your skill set, that scares me because then you get injured.
Yeah. Ooh. That actually looked painful.
This is the pace right now that I believe Roman Reigns wants. And you know what? I think we might be watching this match back tomorrow and pinpoint to that very moment, that elbow that Roman Reigns delivered to Bobby Lashley was the true turning point. Lashley has not been the same since. He hasn't recovered. He's been on it. His wits are all out of sort here. Slowly trying to make it to his feet as Reigns continues the assault outside the ring. And you hate to go back 6 days, but I will say he openly wondered last Monday night with the brawl that these two got into for a sustained period of time. Look out, driven into the barricade again, and Roman Reigns now looks like he's just trying to make a point.
They're chatting
Rusev Day.
It is some decent storytelling.
You can't fault him for that, because he kind of you want storytelling from your matches, Like that's all I really ask for in a lot of these.
I take it back. He's put back on his headband. He looks like Apollo Crews. Well, not bad.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. Apollo Crews or.
No, he really looks just Apollo Crews.
Yeah, I was about to say Titus, but it's like, no, you're not going to mistake Titus for. Ooh.
Yeah, I agree, Dan. Big man storytelling is always going to be slow.
You got a point.
Because you need to have the massive power moves, the stairs, the double axe handles. It is Extreme Rules too, so you need some this.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for someone to rip off his chest protector.
Wouldn't it be nice?
I mean, maybe.
Lashley now picking up the pace. Uh-oh. Belly to belly throw by Lashley. That is in Lashley's wheelhouse. Yeah, that quick power. No matter how big the other guy is, you can toss him with the best of them. Lashley, another kind of sting. Reigns gets a boot up just in the nick of time.
Did you hear about Jimmy Garoppolo?
Oh,
His new girlfriend or whatever that was?
yeah, down LA.
Yeah.
Something seriously wrong with the right side of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has been fighting rib issues throughout the entire
I don't know. I don't really care who you date as an athlete.
Me
As long
neither.
as it's the off season, I don't really care.
Just interesting that, you know, a lot of people are zeroed in on that right now. Because it's like, well, Jimmy Garoppolo is like your golden boy, right? Well, you gotta think about your public image. Dude, it's not the dude date or whoever he wants.
Yeah, right. Besides, he wins like 9-11 games, no one cares.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie, this has been a pretty entertaining match, I guess.
Yeah, because, you know, they're actually picking up the pace a little bit.
Where's he going?
Oh God.
I can't believe we're about to
Please
see
don't hurt yourself.
Lashley's gonna help the top.
Please don't hurt
Man,
yourself.
look at it dripping sweat and stuff, man. He's working really hard.
Please don't hurt yourself.
Come on, Lashley. I'm actually invested now. Show me something else.
What a victory this would be for Bobby Lashley tonight. Oh, big time. Reigns fighting out. Lashley's thinking about maybe a suplex. Can we see a Samoan drop? Roman Reigns with power of his own, but Bobby Lashley making it to the top rope, hanging on. Reigns trying to create separation.
Ooh! Wow.
Okay. You now have my attention.
With all angle, I could not see that, but Lashley hit hard as he went over the top rope. The official now begins to count. Let's watch this again and watch Bobby Lashley.
It's so funny that Tap Out is like a sponsor.
I know. An MMA company, essentially. You know. Say what you want about Roman Reigns. He's a better worker than anyone gives him credit for.
I don't think anyone's ever said he's a bad worker. I don't ever heard that before. I think it's just the oversaturation.
What I mean is, like, his image in the eyes of a lot of people who don't like him, solely for the purpose of, you know, like, stop shoving him in our face. It kind of spoils everything, and even the idea that, like, he's not a really good worker. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, when people say Roman sucks all the time, it kind of gets seeped into your head that he's not that good of a worker.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like people that chant that are more chanting to Vince, like, stop putting him in the main event, but.
No, I know.
This is amazing.
No, yeah, I agree.
At least for right now,
It's just, you know,
at least temporarily.
Roman's a good worker, but we don't like seeing him all the time in the main event. Isn't really a champ.
Way too long. I actually thought he was good. He was going to lose there.
If only.
The face of Bobby Lashley reflects how I felt. Oh, you got me. You got me.
Break out on the face of Lashley when Reigns kicked it 2.5. He's thinking, give me a quicker 3. That's a textbook, picture-perfect vertical suplex delivered by Lashley. See Reigns' body rock as it made impact. But now, Bobby Lashley in position, maybe to seal the deal. It's only going to take one more thing. One more for the win.
What's his finisher? The spear or something?
Yeah.
So lazy.
Ooh!
So that's
that'll do it. Oh!
That's just so lazy by WWE to give all the big men spears. Like, think of something like a jackhammer.
Superman punch. He really sold that. I'll give Lashley that. He really sold that Superman punch.
Superman punch is this generation's equivalent of the rock, the 5-knuckle shuffle, the
rock bottom,
the people's elbow,
and
the neck drop.
All right, people's elbow. That's better.
At least rock bottom is like a suplex, some kind of side suplex, right?
Like, I swear, Bobby Lashley is sweating like he's bleeding. Boo!
Oh, he hit his head.
All right, I'm gonna give these two their props. This is actually a pretty good match. It's like it just keeps building on top of itself, and it's not like rest holds anymore. It's just, that was the beginning. This is where it's picking up a lot. Okay, fine. This was a good match. I hope I see more of these kinds of matches from them, you know?
Like,
I don't think we will, but, you know.
Something that keeps the big dog down.
Oh, God. Bro, cover him. Jeez, come on. Two.
Wow.
I'm surprised.
I'm surprised too. I don't know if that was the correct thing to do, but I'm surprised.
I think it was.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is. I just, you know.
I mean, look. I think you're more satisfied with Reigns losing a pretty damn good match at the last second, and Lashley coming out on top because he hasn't gotten that many quality wins lately. Let's admit. Then the other way around.
Yeah, I think what it is more so is that, like, while it was a good match, I really didn't care about the outcome. Like,
That's fair. Yeah. I'm just saying for, you know, outcome-oriented fans.
Fair enough. I mean, I guess this would be the least unsatisfying outcome that you can imagine.
Yeah.
just the time he needed to recover.
Thanks, Lashley.
At Monday Night Raw tomorrow night.
I'm the one who's standing.
It's like, I've already seen this stuff. Here. Wait, Natalia came out with it? Oh, look, there's Ronda. Oh, she's not going to interfere at all. We said that already, but I feel like your parents are repeating. Seriously, why is Natalia out there? See? Coach is wondering the same thing.
Well, you know you're in a good spot when you're thinking exactly like the coach.
Shut up. Shut up.
She is the Raw Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss.
You're not extreme. You're a liar. You're a cheater. And your days as champion are numbered. I really believe that Nia would like that. I think she'd be the
So SummerSlam is coming up soon. Like
Yeah.
next month?
August something?
August. Okay. So, you know what happens here? You don't know what happens here. You can probably guess what happens.
I'm gonna guess that Ronda Rousey interrupts and it's like a no contest.
Yeah, and by the way, you've kind of been spot on with most of these predictions. And I swear he hasn't seen any of these. It's just that predictable.
I mean, when you've been watching the same trope since the '80s, it's not hard to see the patterns.
Yeah, rarely does WWE genuinely surprise you.
I mean, but when they do, they really do. So I mean, there's always that.
Yeah.
anything goes for the Raw Women's title. Nia Jax
Like, I mean,
for the championship.
this match is to set up a triple threat match for SummerSlam.
Now, bitter enemies battling for
Is it that obvious? Of course it's that obvious.
Meanwhile, just trying to play giveaway here. On paper, Nia, I see in the background there, and kendo stick that's floating around. That's going to be held by Nick
Oh, why would you do that, Alexa? And of course she leaves the ring and runs around like a crazy person.
See, again, legal, Extreme Rules, and again, Nia Jax shredding the kendo stick. I like the fact that she started real quick with it, but now that she doesn't have it, now Nikki James,
Why? Why would you do that? No, stop throwing her stuff. Shit. No, God.
I mean, this is a great device of getting it into the ring.
I know, it is. It's just, it's so funny how, like, these two really, like, are best friends in real life. And it's like, let's just have them have a feud together. And you know what's funny? This right here could have easily been Bayley versus Banks. They could have used Bayley, like, Nia Jax could have been Banks and Alexa Bliss could have been Bayley or something. I don't know. And, like, they could have run a version of this.
Yeah, they were making too much money with Charlotte and Sasha, and vice versa.
I know, but I'm just saying, it's like, man, you keep teasing Bayley versus Banks forever, and to the point where no one cares when they get into a feud anymore. No one cares.
And that's when they will.
Yeah, but by then it's like, what's the point?
The point is, we're still gonna tune in to watch it when it happens.
Are we though? That's
We
exactly
will.
my point. Are we?
We will.
We
We will.
I'm
We will tune in to
I'm
watch
not-
it. We will
I'm
tune in to
not-
watch it. We'll
I'm
be
not
sitting
gonna-
here again, talking about how awesome it is. They finally did it. Should have done it in the
No,
past.
I'm not going to say any of that. And if I do, then I've been replaced by an alien replicant. Because no, I don't want to see it anymore. Like,
I'm
you
sure-
used it for long enough, and like you haven't given us anything.
I'm sure by then it'll be Officer Corbin.
It'll be Detective Corbin. It'll be Governor Corbin.
Officer Corbin. It'll be
Or Governor Corbin.
Governor Corbin Esquire.
I love how those trash cans are so obviously like tinfoil, basically. Like,
I mean, to their defense, I could buy that trash can at Ace, I believe, or Home Depot.
yeah.
Same material.
I hate you so much, Corey.
My brother just texted, no matter how bad these are, he said 30-minute Iron Woman match will always be on WWE Network. That's what he tells himself. That was an excellent match.
True. Look, Iron Man, Iron Woman matches are always entertaining because, you know, you basically you have a set time limit, you know, and then just go at it for 30 minutes. That's all you got. So give it your all for 30 whole minutes.
Should be an hour.
Well, you should be, but I'm glad it's not. Because then we'd be here an extra 30 minutes.
I'm sure that they shortened to 30 minutes because the matches are longer, or the card is longer now. Used to be when there wasn't a pre-show, there wasn't like the 3 extra matches, the hour-long match totally fits in.
Wait, is there a reason for this? Did I miss something?
I think they all hate each other. That's my guess.
I feel bad for Natalia. Remember when she was actually in a women's championship program against Charlotte?
Hey, here comes Ronda.
Ooh, she really wants to wreck her shoulder. Ooh.
That really looked painful.
So that's her move. It's that like twisting what almost looks like an F5.
So like a twisting Samoan drop.
Yeah. Because like I remember seeing that in a WrestleMania match, and I'm like, what the hell was that? Apparently that's her move.
And it's not disqualification because it's Extreme Rules.
Yeah, exactly. So then. No, no! Wait, where's Nia? What's Nia been doing this whole time?
She ran into the chair in the corner.
Okay, all right, okay, that makes fun. Okay, that. Ooh. Oh. No, Alexa. It's such a terrible chair shot. There it is. Yeah, those blows don't seem very good. Oh, okay, that'll do it. 1, 2, 3. Grab a chair, go after them both.
does not give you permission to get inside the ring during a contest. And I agree with you on that point for you. But remember, Extreme Rules, anything goes, no disqualification. Rousey was provoked. Well, I guess the guy in the full motion jumping there.
Shut up. Just shut up.
That he got in the mix, and at the end of the day, who walked away with the women's title? Well, listen, Ronda's friend Natalia was being assaulted. She was being double teamed by Bliss and James, and Ronda had enough. She completely lost it here, and Ronda Rousey just tore Mickey James apart. I think we all agree and understand coming to the aid of a good friend.
All right, I'm gonna fast forward this.
Rusev Day.
How do you stop the Lion of Bulgaria? What day is today? Macho kick. Rusev has a
Wow, against the Miz. I didn't even realize that.
DJ, I'm coming because today I'm breaking the door down to your house and today I'm taking the title and it's gonna be a great Rusev Day. It's Rusev Day.
Cool.
You really want to root for him, though. That's the thing. It's like, it's about time Rusev actually gets a proper title shot. Like, he had the U.S. title for a while, but it's like, I mean, this is WWE title.
Having the match in my life is what I do. They don't call me phenomenal for nothing. This right here is
Jay Styles. Good.
AJ Styles is the WWE champion. AJ Styles, the longest reigning WWE champion in 5 years. A mastermind of offensive innovation. Rusev is a super athlete, but he's not phenomenal. AJ, I don't care how phenomenal you think you are. You'll never face this Rusev, who for the first time ever has a WWE title opportunity. Styles and English one-on-one. Obviously, Rusev hoping that Aiden English softens up AJ Styles. Is Aiden English going to tap out to the champion? Yes, he does.
Aiden English.
Rusev from behind. I'm going to break down their
What do you think he thinks about his career? Like Aiden English. Because you know they probably thought when the Vaudevillians guy broke up and the other guy got fired or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had to been like, well, the what is it? The writing on the wall.
Yeah.
My days are limited. And now here he is.
Yeah. I think he actually told that story once where it was
Yeah.
like, you know, he had no idea where it was going to go after the Vaudevillains broke up. And it was like, I got to reinvent myself. Here he is.
When he first came out with the singing thing, you're just like, this is horrible.
Yeah, this is the dumbest idea ever. But he made it work. See, that's the difference between people who get stuck with just like terrible gimmicks and people who take terrible gimmicks and make them their own and make them good. Because this is dumb, but it's like you take it because Aiden English made it cool.
AJ will get crushed in a pile of rubble. Dust will all look back, remember and say that we saw history today. 'Cause today is.
I will never stop loving how over this is.
It's ridiculous. Like, say what you want about WWE and internet wrestling fans and everything and how fickle they are and how, like, just ridiculous and unrealistic and not consistent they are. But, like you said, if so, like the New Day, like the crowd is like, oh, you're trying to be serious? We hate you. Oh, you like are self-deprecating and you don't take yourself that seriously because you don't care anymore? We love you.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
The city of Pittsburgh will rename the Clemente Bridge the Rusev Bridge.
Oh, shut up, Cole. God dang it.
think about wrestling, man. You like a little bit, you have to accept it all.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I just wish there were just some pyro every time he does this, because it's like, you know, when he does it and there's nothing, it just comes off as like, oh, that was kind of lame. You know what I mean, though? Because it used to happen, right? Like the pyro doesn't happen anymore.
I don't know. I can do or do without pyro, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Oh, okay. Who do you think he drops the title to? Miz?
We'll see that.
Ryan? Wouldn't that be fun? They figure out they figure out a dream match between AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, and Bryan ends up winning the title.
I mean, I guess.
And then that right there is how they can start Bryan's feud with Miz. Off the top of my head, I don't think it's gonna happen. I just
Introducing the challenger, accompanied by Aiden English, weighing in 138 kilos.
What's main eventing?
Oh, the Iron Man match.
Oh, yeah! I remember.
Right.
I was like, what is left? Why isn't the WWE Championship main eventing?
Well, because they want to elevate the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, it could have headlined the first hour and a half.
But I really think that it's because, like, it's almost a reward for Seth and, you know.
I mean, it's fine because the two workers it is, but
Yeah.
like it in the long run it devalues your championship belt if it's not the main event. This is fine if it's second to last, so like whatever. But like
I totally get it, because this is WrestleMania syndrome, right?
yeah,
They put the WWE title before what was it? The Braun Strowman match and the Universal title match. It was like, really?
well that's what I mean. But if you can choose the Universal title or the WWE Championship, right? But I feel like it has to be a heavyweight title that's main eventing with
Yeah, of course.
a major pay-per-view.
No, I get it. But I think it's because it's the Iron Man.
Yeah, that's like I said, that's totally fine.
I mean, like, I get it too. You could have put it like at the start, and like everybody would be hyped. But you know, I think what they wanted to do was just really wanted to highlight that match. Or at the very least, it's like, well, everybody's going to be really tired by then. And, maybe that'll hold their attention until the end of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, but if you're gonna put it second to last, you might as well put it last. Because otherwise, it has to be like somewhere ahead of the card so that like you don't lose up fatigue, like you say.
Yeah. I kind of find this matchup hilarious because of the Madden tournament last year. AJ faced Rusev in the first round. Rusev had no idea what he was doing, and AJ made quick work of him.
Yeah, remember that. I remember I watched that. We laughed about that.
Oh God, it's so good.
Makes me want to have the football man turn it back.
Yeah, I hope they bring it back. And then they don't wait like 3 or 4 months before the finals.
Did AJ Styles win?
No, they lost to Kofi.
That's right. I knew that Seth lost finally.
In the first round.
Yeah.
So like Axel or something.
Beer money.
Oh no, not Axel. It was for Jason Jordan.
Oh yeah.
Axel beat. Oh no, now I remember. Axel beat Jordan. Kofi beat AJ, and then Kofi beat Axel. Or was it Kofi beat Axel, and then he beat AJ in the final? Whatever. All I remember is that Kofi won the whole thing, and then Seth came back. It's like, I haven't beat the champ, and then Kofi beat the champ. So it was like, now Kofi gets to gloat for basically the whole year. Which
Wait,
is,
what do you mean he beat Seth?
because like they did like a Tournament of Champions match.
They did?
Yeah, and then Kofi beat Seth.
I don't remember watching that.
Yeah, it was like a month after the tournament was over.
Takes away not only it doesn't only soften him up for the accolade, but forearm in the face and a kick out. It offers AJ Styles to deliver basically any sort of offense. Everything starts to report. Rusev just in pure stock mode right now. And if Byron can't blame a man like Rusev.
So do you give Bobby Lashley the shot at SummerSlam?
First ever WWE title opportunity.
At Brock?
Yeah.
It would be interesting, but I don't think it would be Mark Feeder. I think it would have to be, I hate to say it, triple threat. Lashley versus Reigns versus Lesnar. And then Strowman inserts himself. Fatal 4-way. No?
Man, that sounds convoluted enough where WWE would do that. But I mean,
Exactly.
ooh.
Not feeling good?
Oh, you know, McDonald's makes you full, but it also makes you like run down a little bit.
Yeah. That is the inevitable downside of fast food like McDonald's. Oh! Man, I really wish Rusev got more title shots like this. Like not U.S. title, not like actual title shots.
Yeah, but I mean, there's only 2 belts. If you're not going to count mid card and tag belts, you know what I mean? And like Brock holds Universal, you can maybe face him once every 3 months or something. The other title is AJ's, who he'll probably fight, every time he gets a chance. You can only have so many of those chances with so many people that are deserving,
Yeah.
See it in Rusev's face. He is in pain right now. Oh, now Rusev climbs back inside the ring and breaks up the count. Styles is that feisty Georgia Bulldog mentality now. Keep being the aggressor here against Rusev. Oh, look at all these strikes. Look at the clothesline. Rusev. pick up the pace once again. Flies in with a forearm, and Rusev is in trouble. But again, the lower back of AJ Styles gave him some trouble. Styles is trying to find a way to power through. Rusev right now in this fight with basically one functional leg. And AJ splashes down in the corner. Shot across the collarbone. Oh, man, look at it.
Wow.
Of Styles, but again, Rusev is too big. Back in the corner, has been attacked by the challenger throughout the match. Oh, wait a minute. What a
Ooh!
reverse DDT by Styles.
That's not going to do it. That's never going to do it.
Speaking of reverse moves, I think my favorite inverse or reverse move is you know how they do the Death Valley Driver. There's like a fireman's carry, you like dive this way.
Yeah.
My favorite finishing move is when anyone does the torture rack, but into the Death Valley Driver. So like an inverse Death Valley Driver. It just aesthetically looks pleasing and it looks devastating no matter where you throw it, or no matter where you hit it.
I don't think any finisher is really going to match the first time I ever saw the F5. Because, like, I'm just talking about personally. The torque and just the devastation of how that move looked. First time Brock Lesnar pulled it off, I'm like, wow.
I feel the same way about seeing the end of days when Baron Corbin first came out on NXT, where like the match was going and all of a sudden he catches him and I'm like, what is he doing? And he like pulled the move and I was like, wow,
yeah.
Like that was like within the flow of action. So it's kind of like how I feel like RKO or like the Diamond Cutter.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, wow. Like
that looked pretty.
You really can pull that out of nowhere. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Rusev was looking to do some damage on the champion outside the ring, and it backfired.
I think that's what, creative was going for. Whoever came up with it when they came up with the Superman punch for Reigns. Or, that was the thing, though. It's like, you have the spear. It's kind of the same thing. You don't need the Superman punch.
This is the true testament. This is the true testament.
Right?
Yeah. Besides, I feel like Superman punch is kind of like a poor man's phenomenal forearm type of move.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, why would you? Why would you do that? As if, like, I was looking at this as a real, sporting match.
Mule kick.
I gotta admit, this is a pretty good match.
Agreed.
Because, despite the weight difference and whatever, it's just these are two well matched guys.
Yeah, it's like they say in boxing, styles make fights, and especially in professional wrestling where it's like kind of choreographed, ballet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're a big dude that's agile against a little guy that can fly around, like it's a perfect combination. I wish I would have heard.
Oh, here comes the calf
I wish I
crusher.
would have heard what he said to AJ just then before he picked him up.
I know,
It would be in Botchamania, the next episode.
probably.
Oh, 5 more minutes, I think.
Yeah, 5 more minutes. Oh, but how much damage did he do to that ankle?
Right?
Yeah.
I really want Rusev to win now. Come on, Rusev. I know he's not gonna win, but
He's got a chance.
oh,
He's got a chance.
this would be how he wins, right? Clothesline. Whoa. That's even more than saying that clothesline.
Yeah.
in the ring, Rusev. And now Rusev trying to scramble. And a pair of cement Styles inside the ring for the WWE title. Rusev. Styles where he wants him.
There's the Macho kick. 1, 2. Why did you kick out?
I mean, what a
Oh,
great,
because he kicked him with a bad leg.
it was a great false finish. I didn't believe for a second he was going to win there.
His left leg just too much. Take another look at his own. Macho kick. Could have been the best chance Rusev will have to win the title. Think about the cost of the Macho kick. Rusev had to plan on the injured left leg in order to connect with that. It could have been a last-ditch effort perhaps from Rusev.
Oh, here it is. You announce one more.
Yeah.
That means it's going to
It's like you're
reverse.
done. You're basically done.
I'm going to guess reverse into the calf crusher.
Pele kick.
Trying to compose himself. You can see his vision a little blurry, a little hazy right now. Styles.
Oh! Woo! Dang!
Oh, I actually thought they might give it to him on that one.
Too much damage has been done to the challenger's left leg. Rusev cannot apply the accolade. Rusev seemingly was second.
Bro, just pin him! Just turn him around and pin him! No, you can't apply logic in these matches.
This is still incredibly painful. Calling the accolade here, albeit halfway, and Styles is trying to break his arm free, and Styles is trying to get to the bottom rope. You're in desperation mode for the champion. Rusev pulling back on the neck, but still, Styles gets to the ropes. You can see the frustration on the face of Rusev.
And you really want to see Rusev win this match. Watch. That's going to matter. That's going to matter. And not in a good way for Rusev.
Trying his best to fire himself back up. One and only opportunity for immortality.
That's not his only opportunity. And there it is. You can do the 450 here. Here it comes. 450. 1, 2. Oh! Why do I always think that that the 450 is a finisher? It's never the finisher. It's always the forearm.
It's not a finisher for AJ.
Yeah.
English understandably beside himself.
Just waiting for him to get up. Don't get up. I'll do it.
That was a pretty quality match. I mean, not that I doubted that it wouldn't be.
Rusev certainly brought the big fight to the champion tonight, but in the end, maybe it was championship experience. Maybe it was a sound game plan. But AJ Styles kept kicking, kept fighting, and eventually stopped the line of Bulgaria. But he battled hard for 9 WWE Champion AJ Styles victorious and Extreme Rules. Take nothing away from Macho. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity he got here tonight, and he won an incredible fight. The tried and true motto.
All right, here we go. I think the next one is the.
Out your new Intercontinental Champion. That's that Steel City. There's only one thing left to do. That's burn it down. Here comes the King Slayer. Ladies and gentlemen, the Iron Man match can make your career in many ways. When you look back through history and see those who have won the Iron Man matches, the likes of Shawn Michaels and Triple H and Brock Lesnar and John Cena.
Yeah, but those were 60-minute matches.
Not Charlotte and Sasha.
No, but the other ones were.
Indeed.
This is a moment in time. The next 30 minutes doesn't matter to anybody except for Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see what they have in store for all of us. I would disagree strongly, folks. I think the next 30 minutes are very important. Just about everyone in the WWE Universe. At the end of the 30 minutes, possibly a new Intercontinental Champion, or at least an undisputed reigning Intercontinental Champion. And these are two of the greatest athletes in the world today. Different strengths, different pluses, different minuses. Cannot wait to see how they decide to pick each other apart.
I really like Dolph Ziggler. I mean,
It's so funny to see him with the Intercontinental title as a heel.
he suffered the same thing that Finn Balor did. I mean, he got a concussion when they were pushing him really, really hard, and he never kind of gained
Oh no,
favor.
I'm just talking about the juxtaposition between this and all the crap he went through with the Miz in his fight to become the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
Like, he had so many chances, and every single time Miz slapped him down. And then it got to a point where it's like, yeah, you get one more shot. If you can't beat me, you're fired. And I honestly believe that, okay, this is his retirement match. And it wasn't, because we watched it live. But we watched it live, right?
I think so.
I want to say we did.
I don't remember. I think we did, though.
The following contest is a 30-minute Iron Man match for the Intercontinental Championship. The superstar who scores the most pinfall submissions after 30 minutes will be declared the winner and Intercontinental Champion. Introducing first the challenger. From Davenport, Iowa, weighing 217 pounds, Seth Rollins.
So here's the
His
question.
opponent,
Yeah.
accompanied by Drew McIntyre.
Let's say
In Hollywood, Florida, weighing 218 pounds.
let's say Dolph retains.
Yeah.
So what would be next for Seth?
Universal Championship, US, the WWE Championship, US title.
I would think that
tag.
I would think that he would go after the Universal at some point.
Well, but I mean, my point in saying all that is like he's one of the few people who I don't really worry about where he goes next because he's fine.
So then, conversely, if Dolph loses, what would be next for him?
Drew McIntyre. That's what I think is going to happen anyway.
Mm.
Like, win or lose, it's going to be because of something Drew did. Either he helped him win, and then that eventually turned into something where it's like, hey, you can't win without me. Or he tried to help him win, almost lost, retained it, and he's like, hey, what the hell's wrong with you?
So, yeah, I mean,
Or
again, that goes back to long-term story.
Or the typical, he gets in the way, loses the title, he instantly has a feud with Drew McIntyre because Drew challenges Seth to the Intercontinental Championship.
Very careful if he tries to participate here. So again, Rollins and Ziggler. With just about a minute gone in this 30-minute Iron Man match, the feeling out process is underway. Ziggler, of course, with a tremendous amateur background, one of the great college wrestlers of all time, and a tremendous record with the most victories in the history of Kent State University.
What? Really?
Wait, what?
They're talking about the most victories in Kent State history as an amateur wrestler.
Yeah, he's like a Kent State legend, I believe. As a
Who's
wrestler.
Ziggler?
Yeah.
Huh. No clue.
Dolph is a champion today. Tremendous resumes for both of these men. Dolph, a two-time
Didn't Nemeth also compete in something else? Not football. Not,
Dolph?
yeah. Sorry, I was referring to him by his real name.
I don't really know any of their real names other than the ones I like know through like movies.
Right. I want to say that he actually competed in another sport.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know.
They've had to sit around the entire day and then the entire show. You love being the show. You love being the main event. But now we're going on 3+ hours they've had to sit and wait for their opportunity. Coach, you're talking about two of the elite WWE superstars.
Oh, so breaking news, apparently over the past couple hours that we didn't actually get to. Carmelo Anthony is a Hawk now. 3-way trade.
Look at Atlanta.
Yeah. Dennis Schroeder is now in OKC. It's I gotta look at the details, but yep, Carmelo Anthony is in Atlanta.
Who's the third team?
I gotta look that up.
What did they get?
Well, we can just check, shall we? Carmelo trade. And we're talking the Thunder, the Hawks, and the Sixers. Carmelo Anthony, Justin Anderson, and a protected 2022 first-round pick to the Hawks. Dennis Schroeder and Timothy Luwawu Cabarrot to the Thunder. Mike Muscala to the Sixers. Huh. I guess they needed Philly in there as a buffer to make the money work.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, those are the details of the trade apparently.
I mean, that's good for the Thunder because it gets rid of Carmelo's salary off their books.
And they get Dennis Schroeder.
Well,
He's actually
and you get Schroeder
pretty
as
good
your backup point guard.
Yeah.
Who can play along with Westbrook as a shooter, like you said.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because, Schroeder was going to take up space for Trae Young. So, trade him away, get Carmelo to help Trae Young along. as a compliment.
Shoulders down.
You know.
I-
There's Seth's first point.
So at the 25-20 mark, Rollins is up 1-0. Corey, does this bode well now for the
But anyway, yeah, I thought that was interesting. I honestly don't know who that's going to help the most. My bet would probably be on Oklahoma City.
I can tell you one thing. It's not helping the Hawks the most.
No,
Because now the Hawks went from a team that was poor in defense to a team that has zero defense.
right. But the way I see it, it only helps the Hawks in the sense of Carmelo maybe being that veteran presence to help the young guys along. I know.
Hold on.
I
Hold
know.
on. I believe that LeBron
I'm-
can change his ways and help the Lakers and not trade anyone before I can even think of fathoming to think about potentially believing, maybe believing that Carmelo could do that.
Well, look, I only say that because what else is he going to do in Atlanta?
Shoot 35% for a team that's going to win 30 games?
What good will that do him?
Nothing. No good. You asked me what
So come up with something else, Carmelo. Do something else with your career. Because scoring as many points as you want is going to be completely inconsequential in Atlanta.
I mean, on the bright side, his scoring has been inconsequential for the last 4 or 5 years, so it's not just that he's doing it. It just doesn't make sense to me. I thought, if anything, I mean, I guess he had no control because he still had a year left, right?
Well, yeah, this was a
Kawhi.
trade most likely initiated by OKC.
This was Kawhi all over again, but instead of ending up in the 6, you ended up in the A. By the way, Carmelo got a better deal than I believe Kawhi did. Kawhi, I don't care how good the Raptors are or could be with Kawhi. No one has ever left Toronto amicably, ever. In the
Yeah.
history of their superstars, no one's ever left amicably.
Just ask Tracy McGrady. Just ask him.
Just as DeMar DeRozan, who was promised not more than a week and a half ago at Summer League. Don't worry, we're not going to trade you.
Well aware of that. There was a lot of homework done before this match, regular scouting by both competitors.
Speaking of the NBA, so the Lakers, the more and more the weeks go by and whoa, that's a strong move. Good job.
Yep. Oh, don't buckle bomb him. Oh! That was a great transition to the
That was a
stump.
good transition.
2, 3.
Now, Corey, if I'm Seth Rollins, I'm completely on defense. At the 22:02 mark, Rollins hit the stop to go up 2-0 in this Iron Man match, and Rollins is completely in the driver's seat. And Dolph is in deep water. Seth Rollins right now.
I think if
just keep wearing down
what Rob Pelinka says is true, and what Magic says is true, and what LeBron says up to this point holds true for a whole year, then what do you think the real expectation of the Lakers really are? Because if the three of them, they're DQ, right? So Seth Rollins would get 3. Right?
Yeah, but look what he's doing.
Yeah, he's softening him up.
Seth Rollins has scored a fall via disqualification.
Seth is up 3-0 now after the assault by McIntyre. And McIntyre, what are you thinking? He's going after Rollins again. Drew McIntyre's completely lost it. Into the apron goes Rollins. McIntyre is tearing Seth Rollins apart.
I'd love to see this matchup. Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins.
The defense has got to get this thing under control. He's got to get McIntyre out of the damn ring. This is awful strategy. Oh, now he does. Now he did. I think we officially just kicked McIntyre out of ringside.
Peace out, 3MB.
Rollins is down and out. The clock continues. 20 minutes left.
You hear the audience? You hear that crowd? They're just trying to amuse themselves at this point.
You know, it's been 3.5 hours of this pay-per-view, probably almost 5 hours, including the pre-show and everything.
True.
At this point, half that crowd is probably blacked out drunk.
The funny thing is, look at that. We're at 3:30 right now.
Can he just cover him again and pin him again?
Actually, yeah.
Is if Dolph Ziggler gets 2 falls. Because now we're even. The one he cost him, the one he got. Seth is still up 3-1. You're absolutely right. Seth's still ahead by 2 falls right now. But Seth has been beaten to hell at the hands of Drew McIntyre. Ziggler's had some time to recover with 19 minutes left. Ziggler is looking to pull within a fall here. And you wonder if that was the game plan the entire time, or if Drew McIntyre really convinced him for something. Ziggler on a super kick. Here's the cover. Hooks the inside leg. And it's now 3-2. And to answer your question, Coach,
Dolph Ziggler has scored a fall.
yes, it was worth it if you're Ziggler. 100%. In a span of a minute, Dolph Ziggler has cut the deficit from 3-0 to 3-2 in this Iron Man match. I'm wondering if in the back pocket he told Drew, hey, if I get down early, this is what we're going to do. And Rollins again just trying to struggle to his feet.
What do you think?
Ziggler
I don't know.
measuring
It's way too long. Is it going to be like a 5-4 type of match?
With a super kick, Rollins scoops him up, shoulders down now. Ziggler at 2 able to kick out. Dolph caught him with an uppercut. And now Rollins set it on a post by Ziggler. There's one thing to be down 2. Oh, exactly. To tie things up. Ziggler cover. Hooks the leg on Rollins. Clear. Tied at 3 apiece with 17:50 left. That quick.
Dolph Ziggler has scored a fall.
Guys, in less than 2 minutes, Dolph Ziggler has tied this up. Dolph with 3
Well,
falls.
I guess if you're not going to make it an hour, you might as well have a flurry of falls for both sides. Exactly.
But now they got to take 18 minutes. No Drew McIntyre. And both of us are beat up, especially Seth Rollins. No Drew McIntyre. Man, look at the payoff for Dolph Ziggler. Big time. Drew McIntyre deserves all the credit right now. I'm sure Dolph Ziggler's going to thank him.
I can't tell what they're saying.
I don't think it matters at this point.
It doesn't. But, you know, still
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
Go get him, Seth.
Blockbuster? No.
Nope.
And now Rollins looking to fire up. Can he regain the momentum he had when he raced out to an early lead in this match? And now Seth Rollins back to his feet.
They're not even like with the time anymore. They're
Yeah, they're
they're
just
just counting down.
yeah, they're just amusing themselves.
It's Pittsburgh. You know how drunk they are right now, probably?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I would say no offense, but I'm not trying to offend. That's basically the. I have friends. The professional drinkers.
Dolph Ziggler has scored a fall.
It is 4-3 Ziggler with 15:45 to play.
Oh, boy.
Only if you see it. And the referee clearly did not see it. Well, the official made a great call earlier.
I don't think this is spoiling anything. but I feel like you should know because like I read this like on Monday or Tuesday. There was one point in the match, just like around roundabouts now, like within the next 5 minutes, they were talking to each other, saying like, "How much time do we have left?" Because apparently, because everybody was like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and like messing with the clock and stuff, they took the clock off of the jumbotron, so they had no idea how much time they had left for like a good 8 minutes. So like they were talking to each other, and like you could actually hear them say, like, "How much time do we have?" Like, I don't know. Like, this was a cluster.
It's another reason why you don't main event with something that you can incorporate the crowd with.
Yeah.
Because now the crowd is self-counting down since they took away the time clock off the thing, which is why I was like, why are they off by so much? It's like, oh, your internal clock is always wrong because wrestling clock is slow.
Yeah.
It's like bar time.
Oh, no, okay, now it's back
on.
up. Yeah, they like. I can't say anything because it gives away the plot.
Well, someone should have not read anything.
Well, no, this was because like I couldn't avoid it because Bleacher Report kept giving me like updates that I couldn't turn off.
I turned all of those off during baseball season, like 3 years ago.
Well, they're back to just saying whatever they want because they did the 10 count with 30 seconds left in the minute.
Ziggler has him down on the mat in the sleeper hold with nowhere to go.
Yeah, right there. Did you hear him?
Minutes remaining in the Iron Man match, and you wonder how much Seth Rollins will start to press when he looks at the clock or understands where he's at. He realizes he needs to get a pinfall or submission and then another one. Essentially, he's down 2-0. Rollins somehow hanging in there, but if this continues, you have to believe Rollins is going to fade away. Seth trying to fight out of this, but how much will this take out of Rollins to break this hold here? Less than 12 and a half to go. Back to a vertical base Seth. Can he fight out? Ziggler again, full body weight on the back of Rollins. Seth will back it in the corner to try to force the break. It does momentarily, but Ziggler back into the hole. Nothing you can say as far as game plans go.
Dude, just bump on your back. Do a back bump and then.
How much more can Seth take as he drives Ziggler's shoulder first into the corner? I bought himself a valuable few seconds to recover, but spent a lot of time in the sleeper hold. He did spend a lot of time in the sleeper hold, but he held on in court.
It really might be 5-4, huh? Jeez.
It's very possible.
Oh, guys, come on. I missed like a month of like SmackDown and Raw. Did not read any of the feuds leading up to this. And I'm pretty much running about 85-90% on just the call.
Divas OSC Day! Is that how he says it? I miss Morrow. Do you miss Morrow? Because I kind of miss Morrow.
He did lead some credibility to the announcing.
You can see Seth start to press now. He understands I need to get a pinfall submission quick. I say before the 8-minute mark, he needs one to really be even up. Again, the coach is not panic time yet. No, but I'm saying I think that's the time I believe he needs to be even. Seth Rollins has plenty of time.
I think they now know like how much time they really have left. So They can time it just a little better.
Top rope, down goes Ziggler. Beautiful. Seth now going to drag himself to the cover. What's the leg on the champion? Can he tie things up? Top kicks out at 2. Yeah, we mentioned how great of shape both of these two
Oh, man.
And now we're going to see that. We're in the bottom third.
Dude, so like the Dodgers gave up like Miguel Diaz, who was their like 82nd prospect overall in majors, 4th in their system,
Mm-hmm.
and then they gave up like 4 dudes that were like in Class A or Double A or like High A, but they didn't give up like Bueller or like Verdugo or Ruiz, the catcher, or even Will Smith, the catcher, or like Dennis Santana or anybody. Like, I don't know what the Orioles were thinking. I assume that there'd be like at least 200 prospects. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
Also,
I think this is how I think it went down, because I don't think anybody was really giving them all that much, and they needed to make a deal, because I don't know, they needed to get something.
I know, but I mean, not that I wanted them to do this. I'm glad it's over, but like, whoa. But like, they still had 2 weeks to a trade deadline. 2 full weeks. They could have totally gotten like 3 top 100, prospects in the Dodgers.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, all that really tells me is that like they're actually still pretty in line to get someone, like if the Mets decide that they really want to sell like a DeGrom or a Syndergaard just to go into the lineup or the starting rotation. Oh, I would also like to see them go after. There's a new finisher.
Mm-hmm. Rollins is under the gun now.
Reversal.
Rollins top rope. Can he take out Ziggler here? And again, cuts him off before he's allowed to deliver the big offensive move. Dolph doing a great job of countering right before Seth get off the big move. Great defense by Dolph Ziggler.
What I would like to see, I mean, I want the A's to keep doing well, but I kind of want to see them fade away in the AOS so that they trade Tyrion. They're closing.
Oh,
And
to the Dodgers.
oh, dude, that he could pitch the A's. They would get so many prospects back.
Stop being so dang selfish, man.
Hey, the Astros made me this selfish, okay? They win last year. I am way less insufferable right now.
You just want that super team that will take down Houston in the World Series. Well, who knows if you'll even get that far,
Right? That's what I'm saying. We need pitching more pitching.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, it's like, why are you going after Machado?
We didn't give up anybody. That's why I'm like, that's like, I mean,
Yeah, like,
thank goodness
you're already in something.
Thank goodness Yusniel Diaz hit 2 home runs in the Futures game. That's all I can say, guys.
Kick out. 6:30 left. Ziggler's still up 4-3. Whoever of you that is watching this right now, not live because no one's watching this live, you already know what happens. But just like I, but hey, Dave doesn't.
I don't know. I'm just assuming that it's 4-4 and it goes to overtime because I mean, otherwise the fans don't get what they want. They want an hour. You get 30 minutes, 5-minute overtime, or like a 10-minute overtime golden pin where it's like first pin or submission wins.
I mean, it's good storytelling. Look what Ziggler's doing to keep from getting pinned. holding on to the bottom rope, and
Running
Seth
out the
getting
other
more and more
end.
desperate. It's 5.5 minutes now.
I mean, I fully expect either the tying pin or the almost tying pin to happen as the countdown is going down to 0.
For the first 25 minutes, positioning yourself the last 5 minutes, winning it. You guys have been in position since the first opening minutes.
And you know what kills me about the All-Star break and the Dodgers having a half-game lead and them trading for Manny is the 48 hours following the All-Star game in which the leak reports came out that basically it's all I heard on the radio was freaking
Here comes the Falcon Arrow.
nice was Kawhi, NBA, the NFL. I literally did not see one story about the Machado thing until I want to say 6 hours after it was officially announced. And I was like, that's so annoying. But
All has to do with news cycles.
I just wanted to hear the analysis.
Yeah, no, I get that. Look, I mean, I get how annoying it is when that the story that you care about is a pretty big story,
Yeah.
and then sometimes the media just doesn't talk about it. Say a day after Panda hits 3 home runs in Game 1 of the World Series.
Oh God.
What is First Take all they talk about? Freaking LeBron and the what they're going to do for the rest of the regular season. It's just really?
Yeah.
And yeah, I know that was 6 years ago, but you bet I'm still bitter about that. Nope. Oh. You see how the action's picked up
Well, that makes sense because he hit his head. So obviously he's not silly enough.
Less than 3 to go.
This is a good Iron Man match. It's good enough where I will call it an Iron Man match.
Yeah.
But this is the way you're supposed to do 30-minute Iron Man matches with 2 workers like this.
Mm-hmm.
No one's gonna believe it's gonna be 1-0 anymore.
Right. Of course.
20 years ago, yeah, that was a compelling storyline. 0-0 all the way through. That's totally compelling. But you can't do it more than once. I mean, or more than once every 15, 20 years kind of thing.
Wow, look at that. Give him
Wow.
a sharpshooter.
Little homage to the first ever Iron Man match.
Yeah. Oh, that's
You
hilarious.
see him look over at the 2 minutes, he's like, oh God, 2:11. Oh.
Huh. That's interesting. I didn't realize that he had all these submission holds.
Can you tell that they're slowly trying to get Chris Benoit back into the WWE mainstream? Because WWE Network has a thing about him now.
Really?
They're allowing a lot of wrestlers to do that cross-face move again.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Looking for another stop.
Ooh.
I'm not mad at that decision at all. Morales has got to get him to get it back inside.
Why?
I think because he knows that is it champion's advantage? If it's a tie, Ziggler retains?
Oh, I was gonna say, why is he not getting counted out? Is what I'm saying.
Oh, I see.
This isn't no disqualification. Nope.
Okay, never mind. Maybe it's not Champions Advantage.
I haven't seen anybody win with the Famouser in like 10 or 15 years. It's now like a DDT. It's a throwaway move in the middle of the match or at the end.
That's too bad.
Well, I mean, that just shows how more athletic you are, you know what I mean? Like we are in this day and age.
This is it. We're in the bottom of the ninth. Bases loaded.
God, I hate. Corey Graves is better than anybody, but I hate when they try to freaking correlate other like examples.
Oh!
Good slap to the leg.
And then
Hey, look, it's a tie.
hey, how about that?
4-4. It's like I have been watching wrestling for 30 years.
Yeah, they timed that pretty well though, even though they lost track of it, you know?
Yeah. It really has been 30 years. Oh, there's no overtime.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 30-minute time limit has expired. Therefore, this match has been ruled a draw. In the case of a tie, the champion
Champion's Advantage.
retains his title.
Wait for it.
3 minutes left of the broadcast. 2 minutes.
Wait, wait.
Incredible match. Both of you, incredible match. But nothing is settled. I know the WWE Universe does not want to see a tie. I know that my hometown, Pittsburgh, PA, does not want to see a tie.
There it is.
So don't get back in that ring because we're going into sudden death overtime.
It's like I've seen a lot of Iron Man matches in my day.
This is ridiculous. Sudden death overtime. Going to do a little bit of quick research here. As Rollins and Cole now get set to go to sudden death for first fall. We'll determine who the champion is, and we are underway. You guys are looking. This is a 1, 2. Wait, McIntyre doing? McIntyre! What the hell is McIntyre? He was bad. Here's Ziggler.
Yeah, no, they did him dirty there.
I was like, there's not enough time for.
Oh, he's got a blank round.
I mean, technically, since Drew McIntyre was kicked out of the ring, was that disqualification?
Yeah.
Technically, aren't they still either tied or Seth Rollins wins?
Yeah.
Nonsensical decision by Kodak who trying to pander to the WWE Universe. Here in this crowd. Yeah, they love that. You know what? And then they give them 30 minutes. I love Seth Rollins as much as the next guy, but Dolph Ziggler earned this victory.
There you go.
Yeah, it's disgusting and angry with drunken power.
See, again, it goes back to everything we talked about, right? It goes back to Asuka. It goes back to whatever.
Why would he?
Seth didn't have to go after McIntyre.
But he did. Because that's what heroes do.
Some idiots do too.
And heroes are often idiots.
God. Yeah, I'd be angry too, Seth.
That was a solid B plus pay-per-view. Like, it makes me want to watch both SmackDown and Raw after this.
I mean, I'll give it a B minus, probably.
Yeah, I mean, we can agree it was at least a solid B, if not trending up or down from there. But it was at least a solid B.
That's fair. Well,
That
anyway.
brings a close to our first ever live stream. I only know of one person that watched us, and they're probably more of a wrestling fan than we are.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching, Dan. For sure, if you're ever in town when there's a pay-per-view, you're totally invited to watch it with us and comment with us. That'd be fun, having an extra person.
You sign us off. I'm gonna go hit the button.
All right. Well, for Paulo Camacho, I am David DK Kim, and you have been watching Secondhand Sports. Once again, this is our second episode. Tune in next week when we'll have another episode, probably more NBA, MLB, trade deadline probably coming across the way.
Most definitely.
And what's going to happen next for WWE as they head to SummerSlam. So thanks for watching. Until our next live stream. Stay cool.
Yeah. Peace out, guys.